these balls could talk, they would walk along the bases and into the fields. If these balls could talk with Mark and John and producer Pete.
Hey ballers, welcome to These Balls Could Talk, the podcast that thinks the only stupider thing than Aaron Rodgers is how the Bengals are treating their defensive players right now.
Man.
This is Mark along with John and our producer Pete, and we're getting ready to discuss the latest in
Bengals.
sports, tech, and pop culture. If you like what you hear or see, please like us or hit that subscribe button, or as I like to say, tickle that little bell. Tickle, tickle.
Sorry.
Pete, that timing was exquisite.
I felt it coming, and I'm like, all right. Sorry.
Can't stop the thunder.
Oh my
Cannot
God.
stop
Pete,
the
how
thunder.
have you gotten so good at radio?
I don't know.
All right, let me get my composure back. But in the meantime, we're
Sacrificing
going to
everything
welcome
else in
back.
life.
We're going to
I'm just
welcome back to
kidding.
the podcast, Derek Lewis. What's going on, D. Lou?
What
How
up?
you guys doing?
Welcome
Thank you for
back.
having me back, by the way.
Yeah, welcome back.
I didn't embarrass myself that much the first time, so thank you for having
Oh,
me.
except
yeah,
for
exactly.
calling.
I mean, the self-embarrassment
Lakers
has to go
winning.
up every show.
Matt, Lakers. You know?
You were pretty.
By the way, I'm
confident.
not a Lakers fan. I'm a Celtics fan, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
I think you're thinking of person, but we got the Yeet counter up, Pete.
It is. Oh, now I got to put it to 1.
Yeet.
But yes,
3.
First one's always the hardest.
the 3. Oh my gosh.
First one is the deepest.
Okay.
Very true.
We're going all the place to start. All right, John, how you been?
So I wanted to pour one out to start the show, and I've noticed this for a while, but I finally admitted it and sent a picture to our friends. The Denny's on Wolf Road has closed,
What?
Sad.
and they're
no.
making it
Sad.
a bank. A bank.
It just doesn't seem right.
It's not
Well,
right.
You can take your money out on that and then just find another Denny's.
How is not one of us rich enough to have just bought it ourselves by now?
Ah, sad. Well, it's because even if we were, we would be good at investments, and Denny's are
They're
terrible
not
investments.
not investing in
Inflation.
Denny's.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, those folks at Denny's. You guys know it, though. You know it's a terrible investment.
Dude, there was one night. Hold on.
God, Pete.
You can't just drop that and then not have me tell this story. So we were at Denny's once with a couple guys in the acapella group that I was in college, and we'd go there at 2 a.m. just like everybody else, eat a bunch of breakfast, food, and this one waitress, man, she just
Breakfast
had
Dagwood. That was my bag.
So I don't
Who's
remember
over
the
Miami?
exact order. It was like a meat lover skillet, but my buddy had like this custom order to it. It was really specific, but he would just rifle it off. And this one woman was just like, "Oh, I like it like that. It's better than sex." And we're like, "Whoa, my God." So we came back
Eggs and eggs.
we came back to be like, the next time she was there, like, do the same thing. See if she'll say the same thing. She didn't say that time, but she was like, "Oh, that sounds like I like that. Like, that's so good." And I was like, okay.
Really working for that tip.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Just the
You know what I
tip.
mean?
All right, another Denny's story. We went to Denny's once, and we went to Denny's a lot, but we went to Denny's once after drinking a lot, and couldn't find one of our friends, and he was a tall boy, and somebody came out of the bathroom, and he said, "There's a white boy dead in the bathroom." And we said,
Oh no.
"Oh." And so we went in the bathroom, we collected our friend, and we went home.
Oh my God.
He was not dead, but he was passed out.
Okay. Spoiler alert. I
Only
just wanted to make
mostly
sure.
dead.
Only mostly dead.
Slightly alive. Yeesh.
Yeah, good night. That's what you're saying.
So
Too good of a night, but yes.
back on topic, as far as my evening, I took the day off. We went and I volunteered at Jamie's school, and I cooked 200 something hot dogs for elementary and middle school children, which was
A
fun.
lot of wieners.
A lot of wieners, a lot of wiener jokes,
Yeet.
and went to physical therapy with her. Got Penny Lane Ices again. We really need to talk to
Wow.
them about being
Sponsorship, man.
sponsors. Yeah, all right.
A hot
And
day.
started Blind Spot because I thought Jamie would like it, and she does.
Cool.
Yeah, it just dropped on Netflix, right?
It did just drop on Netflix.
No.
I was like,
Nice.
powerful, kick-ass woman cop show. I'm in.
Tattooed.
I'm in.
Nice.
Nice.
They're
What's
not
going
new
on, Mark?
episodes, right? They're
No, I think they
it's been
canceled
done.
it, though.
It's been
Yeah,
done
yeah,
for
yeah.
a while.
I don't know.
Four
I
and
didn't
a
know if they
half,
brought it back. I didn't know
four and a
Netflix
half
would do that.
seasons or five and a half.
So it'll get
seasons.
big on Netflix, and then they'll probably bring it back, kind of like Suits.
Kind of like Suits
But then
LA
Suits got
already canceled.
Yeah,
Oh,
it wasn't
the same.
Wow.
Sorry,
Wasn't the
Stephen
same.
Amell. Nobody cared.
go back to Arrow.
Go back to Arrow, bro.
Era Reborn.
Go
Hey,
see it.
they revitalized Daredevil. That's been pretty fantastic. We're
Daredevil was awesome.
so
Oh.
don't spoil the finale because we started
Oh.
it but we didn't finish it yet. So we're in the finale. Like
Yeah,
Well, by we, Pete means himself.
no, Steph too.
right.
No, that's fine.
So, no, Steph.
But you got
I mean,
the
I mean, John and I have already seen it.
Oh yeah.
You
Okay.
got to the penultimate, and that penultimate, you were complaining
love
about
it.
The Last of Us penultimate. That penultimate, very good.
really good. And okay, so
Really good.
the power went out, and we just got Frank in the show with some pretty intense stuff. But we're right in the middle of that, so don't
Frank's
spoil
back.
anything. Frank's back.
He murdered a bunch of dudes already, though.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I love how
Yeah.
I love how him and Daredevil bicker. It's hilarious as they're kicking
Oh,
the
yeah.
shit out
Like
of
an old
people.
married couple.
I know.
Jesus Christ, Red.
I know.
I do applaud you watching a
Come on,
somewhat
Red.
recent Marvel thing, though, Pete.
So
This-
I heard
yeah.
that John Barenthal's Frank Castle has been cast in Spider-Man 4.
Ooh,
But I've heard.
interesting. Now that's Spider-Man
I
would
heard
not be
Daredevil as
cool
well.
with that shit.
Now-
so that'll be interesting.
Spider-Man and the Punisher have never
Spider-Man.
really agreed on anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't
No.
think
Ever.
so. They don't seem like they'd be in the same.
One
Now-
has morals, and one just wants to watch the world.
Pete,
burn.
while you're
Yes.
watching this final episode, let's just think, where is Spider-Man during all of this? Where is Doctor
Swinging.
Strange? Where is Doctor Strange during all of
Yeah,
this?
they've mentioned a few of those guys,
Where are the Avengers?
right?
Trying to find the
everyone.
time stone.
Hmm.
Anyway, let's get back to the show. Mark,
Okay.
how was your week, bro?
Oh, this week's been crazy. Been doing a lot of kickball, just like D-Lou. And we actually faced D-Lou's team last weekend. It
Mhm.
was a pretty good matchup, but they
Back and
beat
forth.
us in the end. Yeah, it was back and forth.
Good game.
I had the same thing last night. I ended up facing one of the top teams. We actually had the lead on them twice. We were up
Really?
1-0, and then we were up 2-1, but we ultimately lost 3-2.
So what I heard from this, Mark, is your team isn't very good.
No, we're good. We're just not as good as the top teams.
You keep losing, though.
Providence, they're good.
What you talking about? These are the first 2 losses of the season.
Yep, they were undefeated
Derek, how many times
Damn.
has your team lost?
twice. We lost the first week.
Mm.
We were all loose,
Okay.
and then I think we lost another time, and then now we haven't. We won what, 5 straight, 6 straight. So,
Ooh.
It's hard to repeat as champions.
hmm But you know what championship I like the most?
What's that? The next
My
one?
next one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey. Yeet.
Yeet.
Making
All right,
me
Pete, while you
work.
update the e-counter, how have you been?
Oh, yes. So the mountain climbing was a success.
He has been, yes.
Huge success. We summited this
Yay.
thing. It ended up taking way longer than I expected, but it's okay. So it was a
Did you bring bear spray?
no bears up there, but we actually didn't really run into much. I
bears.
took a picture of a slug and a snail, and that was
Watch out for them, they'll
about
get you.
it. We saw a deer the first time we were on it, like real close, but not this time.
That's how they get you.
But hey,
Mm-hmm.
so it was my brother and his best man from back 8 years ago when we tried to climb it the first time, and his best man broke his ankle on the way down the stupid thing.
Oh,
Because after not getting to the summit because we ran out of time, so we're like, guys, we got to get revenge. And his high school friend and friend of mine, James. So the 4 of us were like, we got to go do this again. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, Eric's like, my brother, he's like, I'm 40 now. Let's go do this. Like, let's get this done. This is my kind of my 40th birthday. So we got a really nice cabin, played some very intense ping pong. So my brother and his friend James are like ridiculous at ping pong. They're the kind that are like 5 feet back from the table and like, woo-choo, 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 woo-choo. I'm like,
ESPN 8 the Ocho.
yeah, the other guy and I are just like, holy shit, we're just going to drink and just watch this.
You guys
Yeah.
are doing good.
Yeah. So
Winning.
Yep. So it was a 10-hour hike, covered 8 miles, which is not that far, but the problem is the first 4 miles, which is the ascent, 4,000 vertical feet. It was a
I
lot.
do vertical feet on my couch.
Yeah, it was relentless. So like my watch was like, you've achieved your stairs goal 40 times.
People in Colorado right now are not impressed.
No,
Oh,
well, hey, you know what though? There was a good for
Or Amy in Alaska right now is not impressed.
well, no. I mean, you look around Amy's house and there's like 20,000 foot snow-capped mountains year round, but hey, you know what? We were proud of ourselves because it was a tough one. So
You get what you get.
be.
You don't
Yeah.
get upset.
on the way down, there was a guy who has climbed all 46 of these things in the Adirondacks. They're called
46?
46ers. Yeah, 46 high peaks. Well, they're way more than that, but those are the 46 that are over 4,000 feet high. So
God.
this guy was like, so I asked him, I'm like, how hard is this one? And he's like, actually, this is one of the harder ones. Not the hardest, but one of the hardest because of how much vertical you have to do in such short of a time. Because it's just like this relentless climb up all these rock scrambles and like it never levels off. So it's just brutal. But hey,
10 miles of that, you said?
well, it's four up, 4 down, and then James and I went and did an extra little offshoot at the end to clean his dog up because his dog was like
That's right, the
absolutely
dog did the
filled-
whole thing, too.
Oh, the dog was awesome. So
Wow.
they have a dog. His dog is my brother's friend James's dog Fitz. Wow, named after Ryan Fitzpatrick. By the way, NFL quarterback.
Nice beard.
Yep. Legendary beard. Jumped into every single leaf pile, puddle of mud, pool, stream, bit off every single stick of every size that he could, and pretty much like was an absolute clump of dirt, like wet, soaking
bet.
dirt by the time
but
we were
still
on the
made
way
it to
down.
the summit.
Oh yeah, but so happy. Like,
Hey.
and that dog was MVP of the hike. So we had to clean him off at the base of a waterfall at the end. So that capped it off. So successful weekend.
Did he? Is he able to go up the mountain like off leash?
So he had kind of. So James had like a super long leash. It was like a 40-foot, super like tough kind of like woven leash that he would just let the dog go. But if he started sprinting out towards some other people or we needed to stop him, you just stand on the leash.
Got it.
But half the time
Kind
the
of like
leash
kids
was
at
like,
the mall. Kids at the mall when they
Uh,
have the little backpack leash. You know, like they've got the little monkey backpack.
how? Yeah, I mean, I
A
guess
little
if,
bit different.
if it's like long enough, yeah. This is
Bad joke.
oh,
I know what you're talking about.
a mark on it. I'm sorry.
I
So
I
what-
used to judge those parents that had like the kids like on the leash and whatever like that.
No way.
And then my sister had her kids and we went to Disney and I was like, all right, I get it.
My parents got 10. They tried that with me when I was a baby. They got 10 feet out of the store, and I had already managed to tangle it up 4 times around different kiosks and stands.
All
So
right, we're going to
they,
put this in the back pocket. Just keep walking.
no, they
I get
literally
it.
walked it right back to the store and returned it. They're like, nope, this isn't going to work.
Probably a Kmart.
It was, I don't know, it was a
Aw,
mall.
too soon.
Oh, yeah.
Rip. There's one left.
We lost
Okay.
our Kmart.
Is there really?
There's
Really?
one
Last
left. I looked at the
Kmart.
facts today.
All right.
I don't know why. It was a random.
Is
I
it
was like,
next
how
to the
many
last
Kmart?
Blockbuster?
That one's in Oregon.
Really?
more.
There's
I
still
think
a
they.
Blockbuster?
I think the last Blockbuster finally
I think
closed.
the last
did.
Blockbuster finally closed, yeah.
Oh.
guess
I
have
think
to
it
get rid of
did.
my card
After
then.
they did their documentary, which I think is still on Netflix, which was actually really
documentary
excellent.
It's a
awesome.
Blockbuster.
Excellent.
All right. Where am I? Hey everyone, what did the coach say before the first pitch?
What did he say,
What,
Mark?
Mark?
All right, team, let's warm up those legs and kick some grass.
Oh.
Yeet.
It's time for warm up your balls.
Hold on. Now I got to change the E counter.
During this segment, Pete will spin the wheel that will randomly select the question for our guests to answer. Are
Okay.
you ready, Pete? And will you repeat the rules again?
Would you like me to?
No.
Derek has first dibs. Okay. Spinning. And the first question is, what is your go-to conversation starter? That's a fun one.
Conversation starter. Probably sports.
It's always a good one, yeah. It's easy
Or is
without
it guys or girls?
it could be either.
Is it different? Is it different for girls or guys?
Yeah, because some girls are huge into sports, but some are obviously. But
I think you just got to know your your audience,
Right.
right? Because like you could be around a bunch of the kickball girls, and they could be like better fantasy football players than you are,
100%.
or you could be around some dudes that are just like a friend who's just like, go sports. I hate sports.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, okay, now what are we talking about?
I'm a little
I-
bit of an observational conversationalist.
I was just about to say that.
Yes, you have to read the room.
That.
Yep.
I was going to say, I
Read the
think John and I do
room.
this.
Like, and I sort of because desk side service for computer, I sort of, when I sit down before I make small talk, I'll just look around, like I'll just glance around their desk. I'm like, oh, your kid plays baseball, or oh this, or oh
Doing
that.
research. Okay, there you go.
Like,
What's your
like a
favorite
little
team?
Right.
like a little recon helps. Like, oh,
Sure.
if I see a Yankees thing, oh, how about them Yankees last night, right? Like, oh, I know. So yes, Pete.
Right now, the Boston thing. Sorry.
Oh, I gotcha. We can't see it on the screen, but okay, now we got it.
Okay.
So here's a question for all you gents. When you were growing up, like say in grade school or even like middle school, high school, were you all social butterflies, or were you kind of the shy type? Like, did you have a hard time starting conversations when you were younger? And if so,
I'm pretty sure I know what type John was.
it seems like you've all right. If you were
Actually-
before, you actually have all grown into it well now, because everybody here is pretty
Actually,
social
here's the thing.
butterflyish. So
Yeah.
Um, I was not at all, actually. And I had made the choice in high school to go to New York City for high school. I grew up in Westchester County, New York, which is just like a little suburb of New York City. Well, Westchester County being the county, but in Bedford. Right. And with that choice to like go out of my comfort zone, to do a lot of travel, and to meet kids that I will literally never see unless I'm in school, I did a little bit in retrospect, probably not the healthiest thing, but I reinvented myself a little bit.
No, I think
This was
that's
in
the
high school, you said, right?
I think that's the time of
Yeah.
your life to do
That's
that.
good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most
and so
9 through 12s, you're not.
I had
reinventing
decided that I was going to be extroverted. I mean, and not
Okay.
be. And I think the real problem, and I talk about this on the show all the time, I think the real problem with me then, which is kind of the problem with me now that I've gotten over, is anxiety. I used to be really anxious, like a really anxious kid. Like, so I was
too.
always an extrovert, but I couldn't get over my anxiety to like talk to strangers, like
So it's like
talk
you-
in big groups,
Like,
like
you felt like
public
you wanted
speaking.
to, like your energy was telling you to do it, but you were like nervous about it.
I mean,
I just
Right.
think as you get older, you just don't care. Like you're just gonna do it. You don't.
Yeah.
If you don't.
given fucks.
Right. If your friends will talk to you, whatever. But if you don't know anyone, who cares?
Yeah.
Are you gonna see them ever again? Maybe. But
It's so interesting.
I feel that too, yeah.
To be able to tell Jamie, who I see so much of myself when I was her age,
Mhm.
so much of it, to be able to tell Jamie to be like, listen, all the things that you are feeling, I experienced,
Mhm.
like social anxiety, like lack of confidence, like all this stuff. And the thing is, it's an echo chamber. Like if you put that stuff out into the world, it's going to come back to you. But if you don't, it won't.
Yep.
It just won't. Like if you stop giving a shit about what people think about you, you
Mhm.
can start to like become whatever you're supposed to be.
Mhm.
absolutely, couldn't agree more.
And now you know.
There you go.
Yep.
The more you know.
I was
Next question.
I was a shy
Jamie's
nutcase
here.
until I got good at track and field, and then people were like, "Oh, you're useful to this school."
Right. Because you did sports.
And then I got confident,
Exactly.
and then I started
We
talking.
can use
Yeah.
you.
Right.
Right.
I was like, "Oh, wait, girls are looking at me
Wait,
differently now."
They like me and talk to me. Okay.
Yeah.
all
Oh
right.
my God, they're okay. Yeah, exactly. All right.
Let's look for one.
All right. Next wheel. Good night, Jamie. What's-
Uncle Pete says goodnight.
No, thank.
I'm Uncle Derek, but you just
Yeah,
don't know me.
That's live on YouTube.
Awesome. What's?
I'm the one that went for milk. She never
Sheila.
came back.
Oh no.
Does Jamie know? Does Jamie know whenever she comes on, she's always on the YouTube?
I mean, she does now.
Did she not know
You'll
that
learn
before?
today.
That's pretty funny.
Oh,
You gotta
She
play
never
her.
knew until now.
You gotta play her
I
that
mean,
part
she
back. That's
probably
funny.
knew, right?
Yeah. All right, guys. So
Her,
what is?
her friends watch.
And Derek's first dibs here. What's the one thing that instantly
my God,
boosts
Pete, stop it.
your mood?
what's that?
What's one
didn't
thing
hear what
that
you said.
instantly boosts your mood?
Ooh, being around good people. Obviously, alcohol. You just
Mm.
get all excited, whatever. You go to a bar or whatever, something like that. I don't know, something you're watching something, you connect with people. I don't. It's,
That's one. I think that's one
Mark
reason
knows.
why we really like being in the kickball league, because we're all very similar people. We all like to have a good time.
Okay.
Like most of us don't take the game that seriously, but we love to play,
Right.
and then we
We're
love hanging
competitive.
out afterwards.
So it's
Yep.
like the atmosphere.
Jeff.
Yeah, like during the game, I'm competitive, but after, I'm just switch.
Well, I mean, I think competition in
That
sports
works. Yeah,
is
I
one
like
of the
that.
things that makes it good, right?
Yeah.
But and then the camaraderie after, right? Like Derek was saying too.
Oh,
like you go to the right bar, and it's just the lights are right, the drinks are good, the people
Right,
there are
karaoke
having a good
or
time.
Bartender
Yeah.
does heavy
Oh.
pours.
Yes,
Exactly.
right,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. Right, you just get that right mood, I guess.
Shout
and
out to
that-
Rory.
Number one. No, you just hear like you walk in, you hear the music, and you're like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a good night. Just whatever song, and you just keep playing it. And you play other ones. You see everyone's reaction. You have fun. I don't know. Stupidness.
I like my friends.
Yeah.
And I like being with them more than I like being with them remotely. The like going out to dinner with someone you haven't seen in like 10 years and talking for
Yeah.
2 hours. Like,
That's a good
Talking
one.
about
yeah.
old times that happen in
well, not even
whatever
old
year.
times, just like you find yourself talking about the same shit you used to, right?
Yep. You just reconnect.
Like falling
It's
right
just
back
fall
into
right-
that comfortable
Yeah.
like.
Yep.
Yeah, that's always a good one too.
I think that
I met
that's
We have a
really
lot of
good.
those people that we can just pick up right where we left off.
Definitely.
Yes,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Like,
For sure.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I feel like
There's
that's
definitely some. Go ahead, Pete. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I was just gonna say no. Like that's a sign of a good life. I think when you have
Yeah.
a lot of people that you can do that with.
Like I said, I met a buddy probably 5 years ago. Oh, you can go, Mark.
No. We're still talking about this. Go. There you go.
I met a buddy, probably haven't seen him in 5 years, and just we went through high school together, middle school, and just talking about old times, and then boom, just it was nice to reconnect.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's been hours. Haha.
Going back to the question. There's a couple songs that when they come on instantly, I'm just instantly put in a good mood.
That's a good one.
Some
That's
of
a good
them,
trigger
some
too,
of them
yeah.
aren't exactly the most to be proud of. Like for instance, I don't know why I really enjoy Carly Rae Jepsen, "Call Me Maybe." It just instantly puts me in a good mood. I
couldn't
don't
agree
know
more.
That's
why
funny.
about that song.
Couldn't
I don't
agree
know
more.
what it is about that song.
It's just a hype song. Just get you going.
Just to-
The people going.
hey,
I wouldn't call it a hype
Provocative.
song. But
all right. Guilty pleasure song that I'm going to call Steph out on, and it was always
Ooh.
Black Eyed Peas. Tonight's going to be a good night. When that song came out,
Oh, yeah.
like especially when it was like played
Now that's
like
a
crazy
hype
in the
song.
radio.
Yup.
That just always put her in such a good mood. You could see her face change, like just light up.
It's probably because she has a feeling.
But that tonight was
Tonight's
going to be a good
gonna
night.
be a good night.
Exactly. That
All right, one more question.
okay.
let's do it.
We're rambling.
I was gonna say it boosts my mood to see I come home and Liam's sprinting at me with this huge grin in his face, going I was like, okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, buddy.
No, that's
Wait
a-
till his head is lined up with your crotch.
I have to
That's
jump.
always the
I have to
best.
jump over him when he tries to run past me with his freaking shopping cart and pushing
Wow.
stuff and running around the room. How do
My
you?
nephew used to love running into my crotch.
All right.
Have a
How do
good
you take
Saturday
your
night.
coffee?
Ooh.
Like
I
a
will-
man.
Was it iced or is it regular?
Depends.
Black is my soul.
So is that a
There you
seasonal thing or is it a mood thing?
If it's hot out, I'll do a French vanilla extra cream, 5 sugars. Extra then, I guess.
Wow.
Well, I'm a sweet boy.
Okay. But you have like
I like
a
it sweet.
but like you have a particular coffee order that you can rifle
Could
off.
you-
at it. Okay.
Could you get to your Dunkin' blindfolded?
Yes. It's literally right down the street. You just go straight.
Yeah.
I can't mess it up.
I'd have to cross the street, so going blindfolded probably is not recommended.
No,
Like
don't-
Frogger.
not unless you were
You're fine.
Daredevil.
You're fine.
Ooh.
There you go.
So
That's
I
a
make
callback.
cold brew at home. I make cold brew at home.
Cold brew is where it's
Yeah.
at.
Mm.
Mhm.
And I just recently actually bought some of the syrups as well. So now I can just buy like the regular coffees and just add in
Yep.
whatever syrup I want. It's different every time, but I mean I save so much fucking money by
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
doing
yeah.
at home.
For sure.
Dunkin's is so expensive now. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
You know, I think I've had Dunkin' Donuts too often now because I actually don't like their coffee anymore.
Their
I
coffee's
used
not
to-
that good.
Well, you're absolutely right
Sorry.
about that.
It's
But
usually
growing
burnt.
up in New England,
Oh, yeah.
growing up in New
Well, yeah.
England, it's just like you love it.
Do you?
But now
I guess
I'm
yeah.
kind of over it. Now I'm kind of over Dunkin' coffee.
Yeah. I'd rather just brew my K cup. You can get
Though,
any
man,
K cup you want and just.
Boston cream donut every day, man.
Oh,
Before I died, but
Okay.
that would be a good way to go. Straight up.
To go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my quirk with coffee is during the week it's pretty normal. It's just like whatever drip coffee or like our machine at work called DeLonghi, which makes like the strongest fucking cup of coffee I've ever seen. It's like 2 hockey pucks of grounds for like one tiny little like 6-ounce cup of coffee. But
worth it.
yeah, just a little bit of whole milk or half and half in there. Easy. But weekends, we'll take like really, really good maple syrup and put some of that in there. That can, and a little bit of cinnamon on top. That's just a nice, like, you want it sweet. It's this nice natural, like, sweetness. Goes really good with coffee.
Oh.
How about you, John?
Get that fanciness.
I already said black is my soul.
Oh, black. Yeah, right. You did say that before.
Yeah. Like a
Right.
man.
We've got time to fit in one more, or are we moving on?
Now we're moving on.
But
So,
it's time to hand things off to Pete for
bonus topic.
Whoop whoop. Yeet.
It always scares me every time you do.
In a good mood. That instantly puts me in a good mood
All right, so this is
every time.
so on the heels of 2 really good, thought out, well planned, structured bonus topics. I did not plan for this one, so this is a little more chaotic and a little more freeform. But 2 things I kind of wanted to talk about. The first one was how's everybody's team doing in training camp so far, or not training camp, mandatory mini camp.
Pete, you really want football to start, buddy.
I do.
You do.
You really want football
Dude,
to
Do you like
start.
a little bit
got
of baseball?
hankering.
Like a little bit
He's
of
got a
baseball?
No, I don't,
hankering
because
for the
I grew up
NFL.
in a city without a team. They took it
I
away
mean,
before I
listen.
was born.
Listen, the
What
Giants
team do you
really want
Buffalo.
Jackson Dart to work, and every
Yeah,
every
no
Giants
basketball
beat
team, no football,
sports
or no
reporter,
baseball team.
every sports reporter is covering whether or not Jackson Dart has a shit today. Like that's essentially the Giants coverage. Jackson
Are they,
Dart's
like,
bowel
waiting
Okay,
movements.
outside
well,
the
how
bathroom?
was his
Yeah.
bowel movements? Were they okay, or were
They're
they?
usually pretty good, but also
Pretty solid.
sometimes he
All right.
doesn't know how to lead a
Not too
team.
solid.
So I don't know. Maybe it's because he's 20
That'll do it.
Young
Yeah, but are you-
Um, it's going great. Thibodeau, Burns, and Abdul Carter look terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They
Especially
are
Carter.
As they should be.
they are breaking the line in like milliseconds. They're all every time they show a video of it, they're all at the quarterback at the same moment. Like
Watch
it's like
one today.
All right,
Oh.
let's back up a little bit because they're going against the Giants
Yes,
offensive
I
line, which is
understand that.
key.
Oh my god! I watched the video
That's
today.
true, right?
Poor Russell. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Why does
yeah,
Ru-
Russ
dude,
might
Russ
die
Runs
in week
so
1?
fast.
I feel bad for Russ on this team. It's like of all teams to like try to recover at the end of your career, this is not it.
hey,
Not that
Shut-
offensive line.
shut your fucking mouth first.
Well, get a better offensive line.
It's saucy.
It's gonna be better.
All right.
It's gonna be better. It's gonna be better.
And when
yeah,
it
much
isn't,
worse.
and when it isn't,
Can't
you
got
get
much-
to try out your shiny new quarterback.
Yeah,
Maybe in Madden
exactly.
26. Freaking
Well,
There
and
you go.
okay, so here's the thing. I mean, Giants, they improved their secondary, they improved their linebackers, they
Well,
improved
the
their edge
defense
rushers.
is
Your
not a problem.
defense-
The defense
The
is going
defense
to
is
be
going to be
fucking
top 10.
scary. Yeah.
Absolutely.
The defense might
Scary.
outscore the offense in some games.
They might.
But that's okay.
I mean-
That's okay.
Yeah, you know.
Now,
Defense wins championships.
I think
right.
that they've already also decided that Russ likes to scramble, which is fine because the offensive line is going to be bad.
Have to.
But that, I mean,
Yeah,
that was
so he's
what he
gonna
was
have to.
good at in Seattle, so why not let him?
And
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of bootlegs. A lot of bootlegs.
what's the face? Jalen Hyatt is actually getting a lot of coverage in OTAs.
Okay.
A lot of people are talking about how good Jalen Hyatt looks, which he literally went to sleep last season, but so did the rest of the team.
Oh yeah.
I mean, good.
All right. No,
Good.
that's more info
It's
than
just
I
hard-
than I was
It's
expecting
It's
to
hard
see.
to get
so.
excited over OTAs and minicamp. It really
Right.
is.
Like
Well,
these are just drills that they're running.
okay.
They're,
Well,
they're,
Mark,
no, they're not hitting anyone.
how's Diggs doing after his boat trip?
He seems to be doing fine.
it sounds
but
like
he's been
like he-
avoiding those questions though.
But can I? It sounded like he expertly like handled them like a savvy, smart veteran does, with like a little smirk on his face. Like that's
oh, he
like
got
textbook stuff on
He
Diggs.
messed
got
up.
caught on video giving girls drugs. He's in a lot
He
of
messed
fucking
up.
trouble.
He is,
Oh,
and then
please, he came back.
no one can prove what that pink substance was.
That's it.
It was drugs, Mark.
If the glove
don't
don't
know
fit,
that.
you must have quit.
It was definitely drugs.
You know that.
I know as a
Buffalo.
Buffalonian, I know that line very well.
It wasn't.
it was pop-
Skittles.
Maybe it was
Pop rocks.
strawberry quick.
It was crack.
Pink sugar.
I heard it looked
Pink
it
sugar.
looked delicious. I'm just saying, it looked like pink starburst. That's me. I don't know.
Oh my god.
All right, let's get Pete. How did the Bills look?
Okay. I mean, Josh is Josh. He
Just got married.
Just got married. He was a little bit like, yo, I'm not really trying that hard the first day or so, and then the second and third day he was like laser. I mean, it's
turned
mini
up.
camp. It's the shorts and t-shirt practice. So, I will say Keon Coleman looks jacked as hell. I guess he's been doing is
Will that
just
help him catch
building
footballs?
I don't know. I hope so. We'll see.
Can I ask you a generic question? Do the AAA players do like the Josh Allens and the Joe Burrows? Do they take OTAs seriously even a little?
I think a little bit to build, a little
Yeah.
rapport with the team.
Especially if they have a lot of
mean-
turnover, like Josh has
Right.
had to the last 2 years because he's had a ton of turnover. At
And
receiver.
so, okay, I asked this question because a number of years ago, I went to New York Yankees spring training, and the first I saw two games. The first game they played the Red Sox, and the starters played one inning because they were playing the Red Sox, and all the rookies and all the walk-ons, they all were standing.
You can't compare that to
Apples and oranges.
it's apples
and also
oranges.
in preseason, no, Josh isn't going to give a shit. He's going to hand it all off the ball once and trot off the field.
Yep.
But
How much does Josh Allen need to practice?
Spring training is like a whole month. Too,
no,
so.
he still does because he honestly his WR 1 and 2 may be different this year. Josh
Right.
Palmer
And he's a
and
team
Elijah
captain.
Moore. It's probably going to be Shakir, Palmer, and Moore unless Coleman takes a huge leap, which I'll
Question.
believe
Either
it when I
of
see it.
guys are WR1.
What's
or
Cook
2.
doing? Is he holding out?
Shakir is really no. Cook was there
James Cook-
actually. Cook
no,
was
James
there.
Cook was.
He practiced.
Because I know he
He
wants
was-
a deal.
I know.
He was holding
It's
out.
funny.
He is not
Oh, okay.
anymore.
It's really funny. It was like the Adam Schaffners of the world were all like, "Oh, Cook is so far away from his deal," and he still might be. But it was like he's nowhere near Buffalo. Like he's just gonna hold out, and they're never gonna see him. This is gonna be drama. And then it was like, Cook's been here for a couple days. Oh, he's practicing. Oh, he's answering every question the media is asking.
Friggin' Scheffler.
He's like, he just goes, I like.
He's got a great attitude too.
Yeah.
Like he says, "Well, if it happens, it happens."
And he also was like, I like my money. And that's fair.
Oh yeah.
Just say, "I like my
As he
money."
should.
Especially on your
Like
rookie
that-
deal as a running back. Like,
verbatim.
yeah, you're gonna like your money. Like,
Yep.
So
The thing is, he's still young, so he'll get paid.
yep. And he did say too, he's like, dude, I want to be here. I want to practice. And like, we got a Super Bowl to win. Like he literally said
Plus,
that.
you
So
get
I was
a
like,
nice new stadium. So
yeah. So that's incentive for him
Yeah.
to
It's
sign.
not ready yet, though.
sign-
Not in 25.
26. it'll
no,
be.
yeah, next year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
And Maxwell Harrison, the first round pick, this is my last tidbit, is hurt. Right off the
Oh,
bat.
so is Malik Neighbors. Leak has not
He
practiced
is.
yet.
Oof.
What's
it
Neighbors?
seems minor though.
They say he's fine, which I believe. They're just not. They're not trotting him out because it's not even pads yet. Who gives a shit?
All right. So Trey White may have to. We'll see if this lingers and if Harrison doesn't have enough time to develop to be a starter day one. And maybe Tre'Davious White back with the Bills again as the CB2. Have you guys ever had a player that was like elite superstar, got super hurt, got cut, went to other teams, was a nobody on those teams, and then came back and was a starter again?
Yes. Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He won a Super
100%.
Bowl. He won a Super Bowl too.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay. There's one.
Where's the bat?
Freaking Eagles.
All right, Pete.
Okay.
You're at time, buddy. Final thoughts.
Okay. Final thoughts is now for something completely different. Real quick. So we showed Jamie the Goonies a couple weeks ago.
Ooh.
What other movies do you suggest that she see now that she's missed from the 80s and 90s? I just thought of one.
Inner Space.
Mm-hmm.
We already talked about this.
Yeah, I know, but that one's...
Lost Boys.
Lost Boy.
Maybe.
I don't remember that movie besides
Are
the
you-
vampires.
Right,
Weird,
you're going
no,
like
not Weird
80s,
Science.
right?
Weird
Okay.
Science
Or any
isn't good.
movie.
Not Weird Science. What is the one where Val Kilmer is in college and they build a laser? Is that Weird Science? No.
Cool Geniuses?
Oh, it's something like that. I remember that movie. Yeah, look that one up.
Top of my head.
I have a controversial one real quickly. One that I watched for the first time around age 12. Terminator 2.
Amazing.
Yeah, real genius.
Too violent?
That's what it is. Real
Or do you
genius.
think she can handle it?
That's Real Geniuses.
Okay.
Too violent?
Because it's a really fucking good movie. I just
I don't mind the
know if
violence. The problem. Okay, so here it is.
it's intense.
The problem
Oh,
with
yeah.
movies in the 80s and 90s is that there are no good female characters.
Sarah
So
Connor?
I would.
Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor is a badass in that movie.
Yes, she is. So 2
Mm-hmm.
would be better than 1.
No,
And-
forget the first one because I don't think she would. That's too old. As good of a movie as it was, that it wouldn't really
What about
be.
Aliens? Sigourney Weaver?
Aliens would be
Aliens.
awesome.
Aliens
I haven't
2.
really
Yep, Aliens.
broached. Like she doesn't really
one's
watch
creepy as-
scary movies
Yeah,
yet,
that one's
even though I'm
creepy, too.
working on it.
But around 12 was like when we watched all those movies, or at least I did for the first time, and they
Yep.
like blew my mind.
No, she's solidly in PG-13, TV-14. She's watching all that stuff. This is
Okay.
all the shows I watch with her now are PG-13, TV-14.
Those two were R, but even back then though. So anyway,
Terminator 2 is good. It's just
Yeah, the thing
There's some
about
scenes.
T2,
Yeah.
the thing about Aliens is there is a lot of murder.
There's a lot of murder.
Yeah.
A lot of murder. A lot of murder. All right.
all right, now we're done.
Oh, are we really ending this
We're
on a
really
lot of
done. I'm
murder?
sorry. Okay.
A lot of murder.
no.
We would like to thank one of this week's
Come
big
with me if you want to
sponsors.
live.
Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor.
Do it now.
Oh my gosh.
Get to
Give
the
me your
chopper.
shirt and give me your shirt and your shoes.
I need to close your boots and your motorcycle.
Now we're done.
We
Now
would
we're
like to thank
done.
one of this week's fake
Yep.
sponsors, Scribbly Pens. Pens that write smoother than your last breakup text. Scribbly. Ink your thoughts, not your regrets.
Ooh.
All right, everyone, shall we kick off this shindig?
Hell yeah.
Do it, Mark
Yeah,
Capella.
brother.
It's just me, Ooze. First topic, it's just me, Ooze. First topic, it's just me, Ooze. First topic, we'll line them all up and knock them like this.
Nice.
I
Like it.
just realized I can't see my dials. All right, so just to prove John wrong, we're done talking about the Knicks. We're gonna talk about the Knicks.
Huh.
Oh
So-
boy.
Now, we had late breaking news last week that the NBA Finals was happening, and while this is usually a noteworthy event, it seems that more people are interested in talking about what's going on with Jimmy Dolan's dumpster fire by Penn Station. Especially considering the finals have its lowest TV rating since 2007.
Who
So
gives a
you
shit about the finals? Like
You would
I told
think-
everyone.
You would think Dolan and the former agent of Tom Thibodeau, who handed Tibbs his pink slip, would have a plan for the new coach. Did you guys actually know the team president used to be Tibbs' agent? In truly James Dolan style, they decided they wanted to just poach from other teams because they asked the Hawks, Mavericks, Timberwolves, Rockets, and Bulls to speak to all of their respective head coaches already under contract. Now, nobody flinched, but the Knicks front office says that this is all part of their plan. In
I
addition to the
see.
search for a new coach, some are saying the Knicks need to make a change to their roster as well. They need to make a change to their roster with superstars such as Kevin Durant and Giannis Antetokounmpo. So, everyone, what do we think the plan is to replace Tibbs? And do we think the Knicks will make a trade
So I think that the two plans have already flopped. I think that the Knicks really wanted Jason Kidd in this search for Giannis. I think that was the plan. And the Mavs have said, fuck off.
We have the number one pick.
I think that was their quote, actually, was fuck off.
Yeah. And I think maybe the backup plan was Jay Wright, former Villanova coach. And Jay Wright has said, no, I'm not in.
Not feeling it.
So, and I think maybe part of the fuckery is that Tibbs didn't deserve to get fired, and the coaches are pretty much telling them to go fuck yourself.
Nope. Like I said, I'm doing some reading.
Honestly, I think as far as that goes, it's a pretty simple answer. They're going to probably get fucked. They're going to probably get James Dolan.
Well, not necessarily, because Mike Malone is still available. He doesn't have a team. He's a pretty. I mean, he brought the Nuggets to the final.
I would be happy with Mike Malone. He hasn't said no yet. I would be happy with Mike Malone.
I was reading that Dave Bliss, an assistant coach there, might take it. They might offer it to him. He was under Tibbs, so. But whether is he, loyal to Tibbs?
Do you take a team that essentially was knocking on the door of the NBA Finals and in the semis, so two playoff teams, two in a row, and give it to an assistant coach?
I don't understand why they filed Tibbs. I don't understand.
Yeah, none of us.
He must have rubbed something. He must not have the right pictures to keep that team of James Dolan.
See, Jimmy Dolan is a madman.
He's just out of this world.
And I think he just got caught up in all of the sports reporters saying that Tibbs was the problem. And obviously it couldn't be him and the team he put together.
A great team.
But I mean, I said this last week, and I'll say it again. I actually am a believer that I don't think Tibbs can take a team with the way that he coaches to a championship, just because the playoffs are so long.
Yep.
When you play the starters that many minutes and you don't go deep into your bench, I mean, it usually doesn't last. And it's happened for two of his teams now too.
I had a buddy give me a very good insight on this, and I think it's probably accurate. Tibbs has a very high floor, but a very low ceiling.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is a very good regular season coach. He makes teams better. I don't think he can bring them all the way. John,
do you actually think that the roster, that the way it is right now, could win a title?
Yes.
Tough question, right? Yeah, you do.
Because Precious Achiuwa is a very good player, barely played in the playoffs. Anytime Deuce McBride was out there in the middle of the game, the Knicks were better. I think they need to figure out a better way to play Mitch. Mitch was impactful, and he did not play enough. The team has spots that are very good. Yeah. The problem is, especially the way Tibbs plays, the Harts and the Brunsons and the Cats, they just played too much.
Yeah, Brunson was hurt. He had bad ankles. He was just.
Brunson wasn't even hurt. I think the problem is, especially in the Pacers series, that they got outran. When you are playing a team that plays 9 or 10 against a team that plays 6 or 7, and the 9 or 10 are very nimble, very fast.
I mean, there were times. That's what the Pacers are.
I mean, there were times, the breaks in that game where the ball didn't even hit the ground. They weren't even dribbling. They just pass. And at the end of that game 6, when they were trying to come back, they couldn't stop them. And here's the thing, right? Cat's a very good player. He's very bad defensively. He's a bad defensive center.
Oh, yeah.
And the only play they were running was pick and roll to get Cat to switch to Halliburton and let Halliburton score. That was the play they ran 20 times in a row.
Multiple times in this podcast.
So
you don't think they should trade for Durant or Giannis?
I don't want Kevin Durant. I think that's a
Durant went
mistake.
to San Antonio. Is that not a thing? I've heard multiple
Durant
reports.
Is old.
The thing is, who would the Spurs give up for Kevin Durant?
True.
You'd be giving up a lot of really young talent because, in all seriousness, the Spurs probably are Kevin Durant away from being a at least a contender, not necessarily a title team.
Yep.
But I think they're close.
Well, who's the head coach now? It's not Pop. Pop went up,
no,
right?
Pop did resign.
Yeah.
That's
He's vice president or something like that.
excellent question.
I think he's the
And
vice
then, like,
president or whatever.
Giannis, I think Giannis makes the Knicks better. The problem with Giannis, he's going to be very expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to have to
Well,
give up a lot to get
You would
Giannis.
have to, so
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I've heard that some people think that you have to give up Cat and potentially Bridges to get KD or Giannis.
I think that's bad.
Mhm.
And it is literally the thing the Knicks did last year. And I maintain that giving up Randall and DiVincenzo while making us less deep we were better. I
Yeah.
maintain we were better. But doing it again, like, okay, you gave up 5 draft picks for Mikal Bridges. He worked out. He was pretty good in the playoffs. But
basketball, that's tough.
that's a lot. You got to stick with that a little longer,
It's
man.
like Mike
That's
Ditka style. Whew.
Yeah, that's a lot of resource. So, would I be happy if they just got a good coach and went with this team? I would probably be the most happy if they did that. I think, and maybe that's the reason they did it.
Yeah. Get
Anyway.
him over that hump.
I mean, personally, I think the starters should remain the same. You need a deeper bench. You need a deeper bench. The draft could be a good opportunity for them. I know that they're drafting pretty low in the first round, but you can pick up some decent talent and
Mm-hmm.
we'll see.
Time will tell.
Yes.
Just gonna say that.
Hey, Mark.
I'm very nasally. Am I getting lower?
Yeah. All right. We'll turn off
Turn the
safe.
safe off.
Turn safe off and reset your gain. So it's nice. Bring
You
it.
want me to reset my gain?
Turn it higher.
Can you turn it higher?
That's much better.
How's it sound? All right, good.
Better.
All right. So I've been a little sick and nasally, so I don't know how this one's gonna sound.
Yep.
I might have a coughing fit in the middle of it.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Apparently, I'm just thinking about it. I am. All right, ready? Time for next topic. It's all about next topic, and how you say it's all about control, and if you can take it.
That was outside. I'd spit the water.
That was good.
That was really great. It was really great, man.
Oh yeah, I'm really proud of myself on these songs.
Good.
So, I don't have a basketball topic because I was done talking about basketball, but we're going to make Pete happy and talk about football. So,
Football.
you guys remember Nick Chubb?
Yeah.
So before a devastating knee injury in 2023, Chubb was probably one of the best power backs in the league. Returning in the middle of the season last year, something did seem wrong besides him being on the Browns. And he averaged a career-low 3.3 yards per carry, rushing for 332 yards and 2 TDs over 8 games. So this week, Chubb has been picked up by the Houston Texans and sits atop their depth chart with Joe Mixon. So do we think Chubb will be successful in Houston? What was wrong with him last year, and what other surprising moves do you think will have impact in this NFL preseason?
I don't know, man. That's a lot of injuries to sustain.
This is such an interesting pickup.
I think it'll be like a Montgomery Gibbs situation. A little bit.
I mean, I think that's what they want.
But that's predicated on
that's
Chubb being a full
Nick Chubb.
recovery from, before his knees got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
I hope so for his sake.
Ugh.
Like, he was the best running back in football before that happened.
Yep.
Or they.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a high ceiling with that, right? Because
High
Oh, for
ceiling.
sure.
he is,
You have that potential.
He is anywhere, if maybe 75% of what he was before
Mhm.
the knee injury, like.
Mhm.
And this is going to be a great 1-2 punch for Houston, even though
Oh,
again,
yeah.
they still have a bad offensive line, but they should still be able to run block.
Yep.
But maybe
Mixon
Mixon
had a
doesn't
hell
have
of
to
a
throw
year.
it as much.
And
And do you
Mixon had a
think-
hell of a year last year.
Yeah,
With
Joe Mixon
the
had a great
same
year.
offensive line.
Mhm.
Well, semi.
Now,
But
Do you think that the addition of a power back helps the offensive line?
No.
I mean, there are
Time will tell.
reports, and we
Yeah,
will use Derrick Henry as an example just because he's the best example, but there are reports if you go against Derrick Henry for 3 quarters, you're tired. I mean, because he hits you hard. He hits you as hard as a linebacker.
That's a
He
big
also gets
Bama
a full
boy.
head of he gets a full head of steam because he has a really good offensive line.
Yeah,
That
oh,
is
yeah.
true.
They're building him like 8-foot gaps.
They're looking for Jackson.
Jeez.
They're looking for Jackson, and they just give the ball to him. And they're like, "Oh shit, we should just sit this play out.
Yeah.
Let him run,
Just let him go, man.
Forrest
let him
Gump
go.
style. Just run."
So,
Run, Forrest.
and I agree. I think that this is a real high ceiling trade. I think that they are hoping for something like Gibbs and Montgomery. I think the Texans get much better even with the idea of Nick Chubb.
And
I
I'm
thought-
sure they're paying
Yeah.
him minimum.
And I
mean,
will say,
he's
like,
he's not that upper tier like he used to be.
Right.
I think he's getting what was he getting paid $4 million or $5 million? It's
Okay.
cheap considerably.
Yeah,
But
and it
that's-
could work out well for them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, Mixon's not getting any younger, right? So this is a
2.5.
So
Oh, that's
Real
it?
that's
cheap.
really cheap.
Real
yeah,
cheap.
okay.
Yeah,
Then, yeah, that's
why
a
wouldn't you take the
no-brainer. Why
chance?
not?
Cut him if he's not
Yep.
doing well. Cut him.
Yeah.
But
1 year, 2.5 with a max of
Random.
5.
Right. But I like this idea of like you have these two backs that when they're at their best, they're really phenomenal. But whether injuries, age, or both have plagued these two a lot. So it's having the two of them to kind of share the load. I think their plan is to get the best, like relive the best memories out of both of them if they have
and that's
them
what football
going in
is now.
tandem.
You have
Yep.
a 1, you have a 2.
Well,
Yep.
yeah,
You don't just
yeah,
have a
football's
1 anymore. You
Right.
just
Football's
or
a good
situational,
league.
right? Like you
Football's
have
a
your,
copycat league. Everyone saw what the Lions did last year. It's like
Yep.
we can do that.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, Nick Chubb for 2.5 is pretty much a steal. I'd take him to serve hot dogs for $2.5 million.
that you did earlier.
Speed expensive hot dogs. But is their line going to be able to handle this? Like, I feel like that was the Texans' downfall last year. And that's why
Yeah,
Stroud kind of had his
They're-
sophomore
but they're-
year slump because
yeah,
he was like,
their
he didn't
run
have the
blocking was-
protection that he had
Right.
his rookie season.
The
Yeah.
run blocking is still decent. It was the pass blocking that was horrible.
Right.
Um,
But their defense was decent. Really.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they were
actually.
still a good team last year. It's just, but they weren't like an elite team like some people thought they could have become.
Right.
Oh. The Texans actually have been doing a lot of work. I just noticed. The Texans picked up Christian Kirk in March.
That's a
Yeah.
good receiver.
yeah, they did.
Yep.
Like their
Which
offense is looking pretty good if they can keep CJ Stroud upright.
Yeah. Because
Right.
unfortunately, I feel so bad for Tank Dell, man. That injury looked gruesome.
Oh.
Like
Oh.
that made me sick to my stomach when I saw that replay
Right.
of that.
And he's not playing this year. He's
No,
gonna be
hell
playing
no.
next year,
I
right?
wouldn't.
Right.
If
Well,
I were
just wanna
Tank Dell, I'd be
make
like,
sure
I need a year off,
quick
dude.
ass. Quick
He
ass.
might be
Yeah.
done. Like that was
I mean, that
really
was
bad
that was
injury.
awful.
Well, and
So was it Nick
so CJ Stroud is
yeah,
what,
Chubb went through that too.
24?
I think you need 2
So
years
Stroud
to
is
recover
around
from
there,
that.
yeah.
Stroud is 24. Tank Dell, his best friend.
Yep.
This is real. Got his legs destroyed. Like,
Oh yeah,
destroyed.
I saw that happen.
So, I mean, that-
like,
Ugh.
brutal.
That takes you out. It just takes you out of the
Yep.
whole situation because they're people, right? You got to remember
Sure.
that.
That's your friend. That's
Yeah.
your,
And I mean, Kirk
Your
is a
bro
great
Chacho.
reinforcement, but it's still not going to be the same chemistry, right?
right.
But
they
it
have
might be.
what's
Kirk
his
isn't
name?
as
Kirk is a
skinny as
very
Tank
good
Dell, too.
No,
replacement
he's not.
for Tank
Kirk,
Dell.
Kirk is like
I
a
would even say
good,
that Christian
shifty
Kirk is
slot kind of guy, right?
a
Like,
better receiver than Tank Dell.
is he
Yeah,
more of
but
a
Meacham
power
is
slot?
actually pretty good as
Kirk?
well.
Kirk is more of a power slot.
Yeah.
But Meacham from Bama, who he had cancer, he battled whatever, he came back. He actually started playing well at the end of last year.
Yeah.
But Meacham
I
the
like-
third. Sorry,
I like John Meacham.
Meacham
The
third.
the third.
And Dalton Schultz is fine. He's a fine tight end. I mean, I think
Oh,
their
yeah.
team is very good.
Well, yeah,
Their
it's
offense is
alright.
very,
They're going to
very
win the
good.
division easily.
Yes, and I think they should look stronger than they did, kind of limping towards the finish line last year because they started
Right.
good
I think
last
they-
year.
Yeah, they just blew out of steam.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, because they lost all of their players.
Yeah,
Right.
I see them actually being a playoff factor this season, which they weren't really last
absolutely.
year.
Maybe they'll get a wild card. Who knows? Or
10-7
Well, I
last
mean,
year,
like you said,
and
they're gonna win
very
the division,
and
though.
very injury prone.
Oh, a wild card
Also
round
true.
win, you're saying?
yeah,
Yeah, I got you. All right.
CJ Stroud or Jaden Daniels before we leave.
Ooh,
Jaden
Jaden.
Daniels.
I think Daniels.
Well, no,
now,
I
yeah.
mean, let's take
I
Jaden
do love
Daniels
CJ
in his
Stroud.
sophomore
Yep.
year because Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud in their freshman year, they looked pretty much the same.
I will say though, Stroud is
no,
more
they
of a
didn't.
more just pure passing. I mean, yes, he can move too, but like Daniels does everything.
He's so good.
The fact
Yeah.
that he can make decisions so quickly, like
Yep.
it's
His
that's-
processing
fourth
was
quarter-
his
those fourth
brain
quarter
is like on
stats
point
are-
last year. That was really impressive.
Yeah,
I think going
his
to
fourth quarter
LSU
stats are unreal. Unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Going to LSU just set him up
yeah.
Mm.
It's
for the
like
NFL because it's the
for sure.
powerhouse.
I forgot he was from LSU. Yeah.
I mean, I know it's Chip Kelly.
They're
but-
so good.
No,
at
it wasn't
sports.
Chip Kelly. Who was it?
No.
What was his name?
Um,
He
I think you're thinking of Les Miles, but that wasn't the
no, it was he was Notre Dame for a little bit and then he got fired.
Oh, Brian
oh my
Kelly.
God. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Brian Kelly was the LSU coach, but or it still is.
All right, we're at time, my friends.
Good one.
D-Lo, you're gonna love this one. Ready?
Let's
Okay.
go.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? The next topic in front of me. I know your anger, I know your dreams. I've been everything you wanna be. Oh, it's the next topic in front of me.
Nice.
Good.
So the hype of April and May in the MLB season has now passed, and we are in the June swoon. We expect to see the better teams start to pull away from the not-so-good teams. And
That's
in years
true.
past, the AL East was the best division in baseball, but now it seems to be the best in mediocrity, with none of the teams aside from John's Yankees consistently performing. But there may be some optimism in Boston, with the team from Lansdowne Street winning 2 of 3 from the Aaron Juggernauts, and then doing the same against the Rays. Even more hope. You like that? Even more hope, maybe, from calling up their much-awaited prospect, Roman Anthony, who knocked in 2 runs on a double as his first Major League Baseball hit. So, everyone, does the Red Sox winning the series against the Yankees mean anything in the long run? And how are we feeling about the rest of the season for the Red Sox?
100%.
Hey, just slow your fucking roll.
I like when you're saucy.
You're 2 games under 500.
Listen,
Okay,
don't be
I have a
jealous that we
goldfish.
have. Don't be jealous that we have another formidable left-handed power hitter now.
Dun, 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 dun. Roman Empire.
I mean, okay, here's the deal. Be better, and maybe we'll talk about it.
Well, we need pitching, so
Be better. We
Right.
beat 2 out of 3 out of you at your home stadium.
Woo!
Come on. You gotta be a little scared. Gotta be a little scared.
I'm not
And
even a little.
We're facing each
There-
other again this weekend, so we'll
a
see what
literal
happens.
a literal 9-game lead. A literal 9-game lead in the East right now.
June. It's only June.
That's what I was gonna say, Mark. Normally, when I talk shit like this, you're like, John, it's June. Relax.
Totally reverse roles. We've totally reversed roles right now.
Oh yeah.
That's the shit you say to me. So I don't know. I never count the Red Sox out
Thank you. I never count the
in a
Yankees out
real
either.
way. I never
Good.
count the Red Sox out because the Red Sox are very good. And honestly, it's shocking to me because up until 2 months ago, you guys were in the hunt,
We were right behind you, yeah.
Yep.
right behind, like neck and neck for a long time.
I'm just a bad
And
stretch.
we had there were some injuries. Alex Bregman got hurt.
Yep.
Well, right. You spent all that money on Alex Bregman, and Alex Bregman got hurt. So that sucks.
Yankees
That
spend a lot of
sucks.
money in general.
We do, but nobody's hurt, knock on wood, right now. Shut the fuck up, except for
Years ago.
Hey,
I
I think
mean-
isn't John Carlo coming back too?
he is. Giancarlo just started his warm-up, his comeback games in AAA. He hit
You mean
he
Mike
went 2 for
Stanton?
he went 2 for
Isn't
3
he super old
with
now?
a
at this point?
double.
Nobody knows. Nobody really
He's
knows. that
Dominican.
one.
He's probably 13. He probably has a note that
Giancarlo
says,
doesn't
I am
age.
13.
Or he's just like
He's
he's actually like 50, but he just ages so well.
Can you just
that can't tell.
imagine Giancarlo Stanton walking into the clubhouse with the 22-year-olds who play for I forget which AAA team he's on right now. He's just like a very big man,
Right.
like a very big man. He's like, "Hello, everyone.
Right.
Hello.
Come with
Giancarlo,
me if you want to live."
do it now. He did a chopper.
See,
Get to the
so
chopper.
many good lines.
Do you want me to buy you dinner?
I will say this: the
The
Sox did
Somerset
not face
Patriots,
Max
by the way.
Fried, did not face Max Fried. and I don't know if they're facing them this weekend.
Yeah, the bottom of the pitching order is fucking garbage. It doesn't even count.
Yeah.
Doesn't even
And-
count.
So there's two things that the Red Sox are at the top of the league for that are not very good categories to be in. One of them is errors. They have the most errors in baseball. And they also are, I believe they're second right now in blown saves.
Has Rafael Devers eaten the most hamburgers yet?
How dare you? He has turned it on now. How dare you?
He loves
He had a
hamburgers.
rough first month, okay?
And I'm not weight shaming, but he's a fat boy.
Hey,
Aw.
listen. I shared
Yeah,
that
you're
story with
mean.
you about Bartolo Colon. Bartolo Colon also loved hamburgers, and
He
was
did love
Yeah.
hamburgers.
Exactly. And he hits
Did
home
love-
runs.
He did love hamburgers. No, Bartolo Colon did.
You can
hamburgers.
translate those hamburgers directly into power. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Pete. The funniest thing is Bartolo Colon was a pitcher.
Oh, and he's,
Yeah, he's a big
and
boy.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But he hit a couple home runs as a
That's
pitcher
all right.
later in his
that's
career.
pretty awesome.
Yep.
Oh my God! 3 out of the 6 Yankee starters are on the IL. Jesus Christ!
Oh boy.
Hate to see that. Winning.
Mm. Mm.
D-Lo, have you seen any stats about Roman Anthony? I mean, in
Little
Worcester, he hit like a really long
Dude.
run.
I did watch. Oh, I watched the clip on Twitter. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that. It was like 457 feet. I was like,
Yeah.
smoked it.
Mm-hmm.
But he came up.
Yeah,
He's
Did you-
this
legit.
kid seems to be legit.
And his
Did you wanna-
sister. Very
Did you
good
want to
looking.
talk about
Oh,
Aaron
I
Judge?
saw that. While researching this, I saw that.
Aaron Judge's OPS, by the way, I'm just 1.26. Actually, 1.269, almost 1.27.
Look, Aaron Judge, Derek Jeter. Forever like. Rest of your team.
See, I can't like Derek Jeter. I
Oh,
do
come
like Aaron
on.
Judge. I do like
He's a
Aaron Judge.
biracial angel.
I do like
Is a
Aaron Judge.
biracial angel. So is Aaron Judge.
Exactly. That's why I like him. I'm biracial. Boom. 3 for 3. Yeet.
Okay, real questions. Is Aaron
I
Judge
thought
going
we
to
were
win
going
the
to end on
triple?
that one. I thought we were going to
Is Aaron Judge going to win the Triple Crown? We still have a minute left.
No.
What do you mean we have a minute left?
We do have a
I
minute.
think he will. I think he will.
I think he'll get close, but one of the categories he will not.
He is second in RBIs and home runs right now.
It is really hard to do for an
Yeah.
entire season.
I'm actually
fact that
shocked
how
he's
much-
not hurt yet.
How much is
Because
he
shut the
leading
fuck
for batting
up.
average?
I'm
Don't
just
say
saying,
that
usually
shit.
he has those
Derek
little,
is just-
Don't say that shit to me.
Derek's
He's
bringing
got those
some-
little. He's got those little moments like heel and stuff like that. I'm just saying.
He might run into another
Uh-oh.
wall again, John.
I'm just saying. LA is a weird place. He probably. ran into
So,
a wall.
okay, let's just talk about it, though. He has a huge lead on batting average, 0.3 points. Literally a
Agreed.
huge lead.
Agreed.
Culrehi on Seattle has 26 home runs. Aaron Judge has 25. Culrehi is Raleigh, that is. His name is Raleigh. Cal Raleigh. It's hard to say his name.
he's
Cal
on the
Raleigh.
A's, right?
He's on the Mariners.
Of the Mariners, because there's a kid
He
on
has
the A's,
20
I think, that's doing
He
a
has 26. He's a beast.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
And it looks like Aaron Judge is winning RBIs in the American League.
All right,
So he's 2 out of 3. Pete Alonso, 63 RBIs. Jesus Christ, Jeff.
Wow.
He's like 100. What the fuck?
He still has that
Well,
sexy
I mean-
swing though.
He does. Pistol Pete.
Oh,
And guys, Rafael Devers has 57 RBIs. It's under Aaron
he had a
Judge.
weird first
Is it really?
month. We get over it. Okay, he
had
was
a
eating
terrible-
cheeseburgers.
He had a
like
terrible
you said.
April. He had a terrible.
Oh my god. Oh
But then I think he batted like 360 or something like that in May.
yeah. He must
Actually,
have talked to the great god of David Ortiz.
David Ortiz. All right. Great God,
Maybe
if
I'll
David
like-
Ortiz lends it on that. That's a good end. I like that.
Do you like David Ortiz? Because I do.
I mean, I like David Ortiz. I mean, I hate him,
Okay.
but I also like him.
Oh, you hate him,
as
but
a,
you love him.
it's a Yankees fan versus a baseball fan.
Correct.
I
Yep.
like when he's announcing now. He's so funny in the
Oh,
announcing
he's
booth.
so funny. And I like
I lo-
A-Rod as he's announcing.
I love
A-Rod,
it how
ugh.
they still pick on each other.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yes.
like I like when Poppy like gives A-Rod like all this Red Sox gear as a gift.
I'm your daddy. I am your daddy.
That is funny. All right, let's do it. Let's do it, Mark Capella.
This next one's a little bit of a stretch, but I think it'll work. Ready? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Next topic.
Mark, are these all wrestling?
Oi. Yes, they
Mark-
are all
Oi,
wrestling.
oi, oi, the man.
I was
Nice.
like, what song
Wrestling
is
theme
that? Okay.
songs.
Oi,
I
oi.
like that.
These are all they're all going to be WWE.
So we're
wrestling
not doing a
themes.
year theme this time.
Yeah,
No.
well, we're celebrating Derek's being on the show. All right, guys.
Hello.
Okay, yeah.
I do have a baseball question. So,
Bring it on.
1.5 games separate the top 3 teams in baseball, unsurprisingly, 2 of which are the New York Mets and the New York Yankees. The Detroit Tigers find themselves with the best record in the American League at an impressive 44-25. And one of the main reasons for this is the reigning American League Cy Young winner, Tariq Skubal. Skubal has been dominant over his last 11 starts, posting a record 31.67 strikeouts to walk ratio, which is a record for starting pitchers. And so far this season, he's 6-2 with a 2.16 ERA and 105 strikeouts. So going just 10 games over 500 last season and posting a losing record in 2023, how have the Detroit Tigers turned it around so fast, and what makes Tariq Skubal so dominant?
So their manager is AJ Hinch.
Sure.
Their manager
former
is AJ
Houston
Hinch.
Astro.
Yeah, he smacks trash cans. It's okay.
Former trash.
Oh wait,
can
that's Cora.
manager.
That's our manager.
But I mean, the Tigers are doing it with a minimal. The Tigers are essentially doing the Tampa Bay Ray
Yep.
model right now. They're doing a hell of a lot better. I mean, yeah, Skubal's having a hell of a year. Although they did just lose Jackson Jobe to Tommy John surgery. He's done for the
Oh,
year.
that's rough.
That's a problem for sure.
Wait, they don't
That
have
is
that as like a
definitely going to be a
routine,
problem.
like 2-second procedure by this point?
I mean,
No,
it's
Tommy John is
pretty
still
close.
pretty bad.
I know that's
Pretty
I know,
close.
but I feel like it's like every pitcher that they run into that at some point.
I feel like some of them in high school get the Tommy John, so they
Right?
They
Don't some of them get it
do.
we had
preemptively
that
before?
conversation. Yeah.
Yep.
that's unreal.
That
Could you imagine having a 17-year-old or 16-year-old? Hey,
Oh my
you
God,
want
man.
Tommy John, so
right?
you'll be fine in your future.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Until you need it again, and then you're
Right.
running out of ligaments. Sorry.
Yep.
Then you got to start to go to cadavers. You're like, man, I hope that cadaver was a good person. I don't want to be like have an evil soul's ligament in my body.
The
just
Tigers
say
are
that?
playing amazing though. Like,
Out of this world. They're so
Yeah.
good.
yep,
And like,
they have so
I
much
mean,
young talent.
I'd
they
like to
can
say
build
that
on.
Glaber's helping them because he probably is, because I love
Oh, yeah.
Glaber.
Yep.
But they just got good real fast, and
Yep.
I think it's interesting, especially. I mean, the Tigers have. I mean, the American League Central, Pete, has always been terrible,
Yep.
and like terrible in a way where they send losing teams to the playoffs because every division winner gets a playoff team.
Usually Cleveland.
Usually Cleveland or Minnesota. Never
Yep.
Detroit, but this year Detroit.
Good for them.
So their team ERA for the season so far 3.26.
That is so good.
The league average is
Unreal.
usually around 4.
Wow. That's some
So-
good
And I mean,
pitching
that's
right
probably
there.
a lot of it. That's a lot of it.
It's definitely pitching.
Yep.
I mean, their batting
yeah.
is pretty good too, but it's definitely their pitching that's been making them so good.
And they have, like I said, a lot of cheap talent right now that they don't have to pay until they do, and then Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera is going to come back. It's cool. Don't worry about it. He'll play first.
Did you update now?
Shelf.
They're
64-year-old Miguel Cabrera.
That's fine.
they're now 45
We don't even know
and
yet. We don't
25
know
too,
his
the
age.
Tigers at this point, John.
Yeah. And Skrubal's ERA is under 2. Jesus, it's under
Wow, that's-
2.
Okay, that's like
Oof.
in those old like
And
baseball video games when you'd like make the perfect pitcher and like you'd make their ERA under 2 and they would just be like
he's a lefty.
invincible.
And he's a lefty. And he's gonna.
Lefty
I mean,
in baseball
the-
is gold.
fuck you, Max Fried. I think Max Fried probably would win the Cy Young if Tariq Skubal wasn't being ridiculous. And
Yep.
so he's probably gonna win it again.
Yep.
Cy Young, by the way, Pete, being league-based pitching awards for the year.
I kind of I figured that was like the best pitcher of the league for that season. We get that award.
Cy Young being probably one of the best pitchers in history.
Just want to let you guys know that
Gotcha.
Edmonton just scored, and now it is 4-3 Edmonton.
Wow.
Go
Oh.
McDavid.
Oh yeah.
And
Sorry
Co.
to cut you guys off, but
So
No,
speaking of
that's
pitching
thank you for
and
that update. I appreciate that.
speaking of pitching and friend of the show, Jeff from Pikars, I mean, let's talk about the Mets as well. Guess what the Mets team ERA right now is?
ugh,
Very low.
It's
Shit.
below 3. 282.
What? And they actually have a better record than the Tigers right now because
And
they have one fewer loss.
Wow.
And so
And so
here's the
do-
thing about the Mets. The Mets don't have any AAA high-paid pitchers. They're doing it pitching by committee. They're doing 6 pitchers, and they're doing it with previously mentioned pitching academy. So they have a method, and they're teaching it to all of them, and it is almost as groundbreaking, I think, as Moneyball. I mean, it's like literally they're doing it in a way that has never been done before, and it's successful.
But
Well, they do have Edwin Diaz as their closer. He has 15 saves already.
Yeah, but Moneyball, like, that ruined baseball a little bit for me, because back in the day it was all how you feel, how the manager feels, whatever. Moneyball is, it's good. It was awesome in Oakland, and now everyone has to do it. Pitcher goes 6 innings, boom, done. I remember the days they go 9 all the time. Like, it was like Pedro,
Well,
he'd go 9.
The whole game is different.
Oh yeah, it's you go 7 now, you're done. You're done. And the pitcher
Not
wants to
even
pitch
7.
more.
Yeah, there's bullpen.
It's 6.5,
games now.
whatever, But it's just, I don't know. I wish they'd go back a little bit because the closers in the middle
Keep in mind,
relief-
though, Keep in mind, though, pitchers are trying to throw as hard as they can for as long as they
Also
can. too
true.
now.
Also
Like,
true.
Yeah,
It's-
it no longer
because, I
seems to be
mean-
like a big mind game throughout the whole night.
I mean, it's still a mind game.
It is,
Yeah,
but now it's a mind game with maximum effort.
Yep.
I think
Thank you,
more.
Yes.
They're just trying to maximize maximum effort. They're trying to just
maximize the effort.
maximize the use in their of their team, and they're not trying to overextend anybody.
Right. Where they could have Tommy John surgery and stuff like that because they keep tossing.
Right. Anyway, we're at time. Maximum effort. We didn't hear you
We
there,
like to-
Mark. Just FYI.
I know. I was quiet on purpose. We'd like to thank another fake sponsor, Puff Nest Beanbags. Sink into softness, disappear from responsibility. Puff Nest. Sit down, zone out, and return. Creepy.
Never return. Just disappear in the beanbag. It's like, ah.
It's
You're
like
gone.
that meme of Homer Simpson fading into the bush, only it's a beanbag.
Right. We'll never
Right.
see you again.
This is my least favorite one of the songs, but not because of who is theme song. This is, by the way. I am a real American. Fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American. And next topic now. Next topic now. So the WNBA has been off and running, and of course, most eyes are on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Last month, she did face off against her most heated rival, Angel Reese, and the Chicago Sky last month. I said last month twice. In what was the highest rated WNBA game ever on ESPN with an average of 2.7 million viewers.
Wow.
And the game did not disappoint with the hard foul by Clark trying to stop Reese, making an easy layup, but resulted in a flagrant 1 foul on the
That was a
of the
flagrant foul.
Oh yeah.
this wasn't the first time these two tangled on the court, and definitely won't be the last. With possibly the most memorable moment being Reese giving Clark a John Cena "You Can't See Me" during the fourth quarter of the 2023 NCAA Women's Championship game. However, Clark has been hurt since this game, and viewership has gone down 55%
Wow.
since her absence. So everyone, do we think that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese might actually hate each other? And why is the WNBA so reliant on Caitlin Clark?
I feel like they've got to at
I
least
don't-
respect each other.
Did you
right?
want? Do you want the real answer?
I don't think they hate each other. I think that
They hate each
Angel
other.
Reese is jealous of Caitlin Clark.
She is.
100%.
I have a theory about this. I actually think that they might be doing almost like a modern day Bird and Magic.
Yep. They might.
I think some of the stuff that they do on the court might be for show. Because they
Build-
know
build
that
the
all
league.
eyes are on them.
Yep.
And I mean, there are a lot. I
Right.
mean, a lot of these professional athletes too. Yes, they're human beings. They have feelings and stuff. But when they're in the court, it's a different mindset, right? That whistle blows and
business.
your brain changes. And it's right. It's all game. It's all business. And like,
So
you may do all this stuff, not even necessarily like premeditated for show, but it could just be their raw reactions.
Right.
When the game's over and the cameras turn away, they may be like, that was pretty fucking cool. Like, oh, hey, you know, like you're awesome. You're awesome too, you know?
You want to go out
can
for
we
a
talk
drink
about
or
it for
relax?
real
Right,
then,
yeah.
though? The Chicago Sky are very bad. It's a bad team.
They are
Terrible.
They are.
They're
Angel
not
Reese
good.
is a great player on a bad team.
That's
It's a
unfortunate.
bad team. And
Reese can't hit a shot. Ugh.
right. It's just
Well,
like
she can when she's like on the post.
Well, she can rebound for sure.
yeah,
Mhm.
Ugh.
she's like Dennis Rodman,
and
only with longer eyelashes.
let's just also
Little bit.
discuss, and I'm gonna be a homer just for a second, just for a little bit. It's not unlike
There we go.
me. But the New York Liberty are 9-0.
You never talk about the New York teams.
Oh,
The New York
never,
Liberty
ever.
are 9-0. The addition of Natasha
are.
Cloud from Connecticut is really paying dividends.
We call that a gift.
Like a gift. Like oh my god. And like Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu still probably two of the best players in the WNBA.
Oh yeah.
I unfortunately think that the reason that Caitlin Clark drives WNBA viewership is because a lot of the world is racist.
Yes.
Because she's a pretty white girl.
Yep.
She's a pretty white girl.
Yep.
And
But technically,
I-
so is Paige Beckers.
Ooh,
Paige Becker's already hurt.
Already hurt.
Already hurt. So
She hurt my
maybe right. Yeah, she's fun to watch.
This was the first time Caitlin Clark has been injured playing basketball in like ever in her career,
Ever.
and that's going back to college and high school and beyond that. I believe.
What'd she do? I'm not.
I believe it was a quad or a
Oh, okay.
hamstring.
Yeah, so that takes time. Yeah.
I mean, it is going to be a long time in the WNBA before the Liberty, the Lynx, or the Aces lose a championship. None of the teams are close.
No.
They're not. They're
Aces
not
and
close.
Lynx are the teams, and Liberty
And-
as well.
Yeah.
Ace is not so much. Like they're not looking so good right now.
Yeah.
And they just Asia Wilson, I believe, just got hurt too.
Oh, she
Well,
did. Okay.
Because Asia
Yeah.
got hurt.
And what's her name? Got traded to LA Sparks, right? Can't even think of her name.
What are you
Holy
talking
shit.
about?
Not important.
We'll get the research department on that one.
Yep.
But but 50. Let's talk about the second half of this topic a little bit. 55% without her in the league. So the average
a
rating
big
went
drop.
from. I don't
Huge.
necessarily know if I believe this because it said the average rating for a WNBA game was 1.8 million, and now it's like less than 1 million.
And I guess it depends on the game.
So
That's really rough.
WNBA super fan and my sister and friend of the show, Melanie Campione, has sent me a lot of stats on the Liberty viewership right now, and I don't know if a lot of the things you're saying are true. And just because the stats on the Liberty for viewership have been humongous.
So the stat that I read may just be for Indiana Fever games.
Well, you got to think when they face each other, it'd be at the United Center. Then once she got hurt, they went back to whatever stadium they play at. I don't know. Unfamiliar with that. But
It's been so many different names. It was
And I mean,
Right, so it's-
I guess besides Aaliyah Boston and I guess Kelsey Mitchell from this last year, who is even on the Fever?
yeah,
not a lot.
It's not.
But
Caitlin
It's
Clark.
not a
they-
very.
But
Very
Indiana
good.
had the number 1 draft pick 2 years in a row.
Right.
They drafted Aaliyah Boston and then they drafted
Yep.
Caitlin Clark.
Yep. I mean, it's just
So that team should be good.
I mean, they're in.
yeah, but two people don't make a great
third.
team.
No, they're in third in the Eastern Conference, but 7th overall.
Right.
Which
Well, they
You know.
were before the season started. They were the favorite to win the title, believe it or not.
Really?
And
Holy
now
shit.
Caitlin Clark she's been hurt, I think, for the last 2 weeks. So that's probably 4 games that she's missed.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
We
only
are-
9
we are-
games into the season. My friend Mark
Yeah.
would tell me to slow my roll. Relax, just relax, John.
Relax.
You know who
Don't
else said
do
relax,
it.
John? Your favorite garbage human being.
Ooh.
Remember when he said that on the Packers?
Relax. Everything's gonna be great. Fuck you, Aaron Rodgers. And time for the next topic.
It's a shame that can't be the title of our episode.
Aaron Rodgers' balls.
Fuck Aaron Rodgers' balls.
He's married now.
I know. That was weird.
To who?
Brittany.
Yeah, I love how he announced it. Yeah, by the way, I'm married.
Who? Wearing a rubber ring.
Who knows?
Cool.
Like, yeah, there's so many stories about him. Just like, even going back to as early as 2016 about some weird stuff, and then 2019 he just abandons his family. Who does that?
Just cuts them off because of his brother
Completely.
running a reality TV show.
Yeah,
What? How do you just cut people off of that?
I don't
Weird.
know.
Here's another one. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I think it's going to.
Here we
I
go.
hope it's going to turn out really.
All
really
right,
good,
Mark, we're ready.
I hear voices in my head. It's next topic. You'll understand. It's next topic.
Like it.
That's so good, man.
Like the energy.
Rev Theory. Nice.
Is it me? No.
No, it's
you.
me.
Yeah, it's the name of the band.
Gosh.
Now that I know your questions,
I didn't
Mark,
know that
I'm
one.
going to tee up your questions. So let's get to the WWE, you guys. The retirement of R-Truth, reported last week on the show.
Excuse me, Ron Killings.
Yeah, I'm getting to it. Is already over. This weekend, Ron Killings interfered during the main event of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, allowing Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso to be victorious over John Cena and Logan Paul, the heels. More details have emerged, noting that the request for him to return was initially met with indifference by Truth until CEO Nick Khan personally got involved. So what are our thoughts about the return of Ron Killings from a storytelling perspective and show perspective? And do we think this was always the plan, or was it a response to the fan outcry at his release?
Response.
You think
Without
so?
a doubt,
Okay.
this was a response. Without a doubt.
Response. Yep.
We do
I
have to
don't
correct
disagree.
a little bit from last week. We said that Truth was released. Turns out, no, he wasn't actually released. He just wasn't. His contract
just
just
wasn't
wasn't
getting
renewed.
re-upped.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, without a doubt, this is because of the fan response. Despite the
Yep.
fact that Triple H during the press conference after the Saturday night main event said, "Yeah, this was all part of the plan." It's like, sorry,
What's he gonna
sorry,
say?
Mr.
No.
Levesque. We don't.
No,
believe
but he
you.
said he was like
All
well,
part of
did
the
you
show.
enjoy the show?
Yeah, did you enjoy
Yeah.
the show?
Sorry, it wasn't the main event. It was after Money in the Bank. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
I just think like a lot of wrestlers and a lot of fans were like, really? This guy's been
Yeah,
with the company
yeah.
for how long? And you're just gonna not renew him? Like, give him another year, whatever. TKO makes so much money.
Well, exactly. He's not
Kidding
not
me?
really making that much money compared to
No.
like the Cody Rhodeses and the Roman Reigns.
No.
So
Cody is making so much money.
I will say this though. I think him coming back as Ron Killings and
Yeah.
not R-Truth is potentially a mistake.
No, I love it.
I
Switch
think,
up the character.
No, see, I don't like I don't like it. I think it's great that he's coming back and potentially going to fight Cena again.
Yep.
But what are you going to do after that?
But I think why they did this was because John Cena, he's coming out, no music, or he comes out with his music, then they just shut it off, whatever. It's not working. Because
You don't think
if
it's
you're
working?
watching Money in the Bank and stuff like that, people are still cheering John Cena. They're going to.
Because
He can be as
John
heel
Cena's
as
John
you
Cena.
want. Right.
Do we?
I
And
mean-
I feel this
So they
way
gotta
too. But
flip
do
it. They gotta
do we
flip it.
hate heel John Cena?
I love it.
Oh,
I thought
love
it
it.
was
Like-
awesome.
he should have
It's
done
about
this years
time.
ago. He
Yeah.
should have done this years ago. The only
Like, what's-
reason they couldn't do it because of Make a Wish.
And money.
Really?
Yeah.
And I don't
That makes
really
sense.
think it had to do with. I think it really had to do with like the fact that he is the face, but he's out there like with Make a Wish
Right.
and whatnot too. Like you can't have him turn heel and still do Make a Wish.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably true.
You're blurring the lines.
Now, there were reports, and in the scope of this being a response, there were some reports from WWE executives who were concerned about the ability for the fans to have such a direct response,
Yep.
in casting and storyline and all that stuff.
do it all the
and I
time.
think that's
Yep.
I think that's absolutely incorrect, because in a show like WWE, you want the fans to feel involved,
Exactly.
right?
You are reacting based off of the audience response. We saw WrestleMania 40. We saw the main event of WrestleMania 40 change because of fan response.
Right.
We've
Absolutely.
seen some excuse me. We've seen some of the greatest things that WWE has ever done because of the fan response. Like like Daniel Bryan, Occupy Raw is one of my all-time favorite episodes,
Yep.
and they did that. That was not
Agreed.
planned, by the way.
No,
Mhm.
It just happened, and
Vince
Daniel
didn't
Bryan,
want it, and then
Vince
he
didn't
read
want
the
it.
he read the room, and he
He
goes,
read the room, and
"Let's switch it." Yep.
Like
And that's
WWE's
the same
greatest
thing
things, I think, have
that,
always come from fan
that
reaction.
Rock did
Mhm.
with 40, and Rock was like, "Listen, I was
Yeah,
going
the
to do
final
this
boss,
thing,
yeah.
Yep.
and I don't think people want it. I don't think that makes
They
any
didn't.
sense."
They did not, and then they switched it to a tag team match, and just
Yeah.
boom. Just
I mean, that
So,
was just
okay.
a great story. That was one of the better stories of WrestleMania too, with,
Yeah.
with Cody.
What's
doing
our
that.
thoughts on Logan Paul?
Ending the story.
And I mean, I think Logan Paul needs to stay a heel. I think Logan Paul is a great
oh yeah,
addition.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
But
he can't be
I
face.
love Logan Paul in the WWE.
He is very athletic.
very
think-
athletic.
So athletic. He's learned so much compared to other wrestlers who've
Fast,
been doing
too, right?
it for 10 years.
He needs to learn. He needs to learn not to get hurt.
Was he in different? Was Logan Paul in like a different fighting league or style
He
before
was
this?
he was a YouTuber and did different
YouTuber. All right.
stuff.
Pete,
Okay.
Pete, you are confusing him with his brother Jake, who is a
Oh, there you
professional
go.
boxer.
That's who I'm
Right.
thinking of.
No,
Okay,
they were
yes.
they were both they were
Okay.
both boxing on YouTube though.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were both
Logan
boxing
was
on
too?
YouTube.
Okay.
Jake
Jake is
stuck
famous
with
for
boxing,
it. Though, yeah.
right.
and
Okay,
Logan
yeah.
Paul has now
That's
for
why, 'cause
over a
they-
year switched to the WWE.
Yeah,
Right.
because I don't know a lot about wrestling, but that name sounded really familiar, so that's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he did a really interesting thing in this previous pay-per-view this weekend, Money in the Bank, where he was like doing moves with his phone.
What?
Which
No,
So
it
he
wasn't,
was
it wasn't
light.
a phone. It was the drone. He
Yeah,
grabbed
so
the
he was
drone.
like-
Oh, he was like
You're
fighting
right,
a drone.
right.
No, he wasn't
no.
fighting a drone, but while he was
Grabbing
flying
the drone.
through
these drones!
while he was flying through the air and he does a lot of
my God.
acrobatic things.
Yeah.
While he was flying through the air, he was taking a camera
Which-
with him.
Oh,
right,
cool.
looked
which is
great.
unique. Which
That's-
is unique
that's
because you
cool.
don't
Okay,
ever
yeah.
see that.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I don't know. He's
Neat.
so athletic.
And
I'll
so
give this.
for many years, what the WWE would do and what wrestlers would do is they would do a very athletic, very like kind of specific to them thing, almost like a video game, Pete, honestly.
Okay.
And so Logan Paul being the YouTuber using like cameras, and I think that's really cool, honestly. I think
Yep.
it looked really good.
hmm
He knows how to make viral moments too. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
definitely remember. Was this Royal Rumble when him and Ricochet went flying across the ring at each other?
Yeah.
Was that a Royal Rumble?
I think it was a couple of years ago. It was him
Yeah.
and Ricochet. They bounced off the ropes and just went boom.
And it was a huge viral moment. He
Yep.
knows how to be popular. He
Yep.
knows what people want to see.
Yep.
And I'll give this to Logan Paul. Like, I mean, I made the joke. He needs to learn how to not get hurt. But
Right.
he does a lot what Brock Lesnar used to do. Like,
Yep.
he's
Early-
just all
early
in.
Brock.
He's just all
Early
yeah,
Brock.
Early Brock. Brock would let you like hit him like head on. It's like
Yep.
I think he fed off of him
Yep.
actually getting hit by his opponent.
Right.
Unless it was too hard, then there's great Instagram clips of him like getting pissed off because someone hit him a little
yeah.
too hard somewhere.
Mhm.
Um,
And you piss
Huh.
off Brock. That's the MMA in him. Mm-mm.
I mean, Logan Paul is entertaining. Logan Paul knows how to rile people up.
He does. He knows how to piss off people because he has a past with everything that he did, and just. But like I said, that moonsault going off the ropes onto the table.
Yeah.
You mess that up, you could
Yeah.
die, or you could go
You could
right into
die.
the fans.
Oh
And
yeah.
just, I mean, obviously he practiced it because he has a ring at home. Because I watched the TikTok of him doing it at home, and then it filtered into when he did it
Yeah.
in the spot. I couldn't imagine that. Like,
I mean,
but he said he
That's
got the
pretty good.
inspiration. He said he got the inspiration from he went. So they call it coast to coast. So it's literally one side of the ring to the other ring. And like he did a moonsault versus AJ Styles, and he literally almost went 90%.
Yeah.
And almost hit the ropes. And he goes, I can do this. I can hit it. So he said
That's
he was talking
awesome.
to John. Yeah, he was talking to John
That's
Cena. He's like, I can do this. And John Cena's like, all right, don't mess it up.
John Cena's like,
Mhm.
I can't.
Don't mess it up. Don't make me look bad. It's I don't know, man. But he is very athletic. I will say that. But
So, final thoughts on this match. What are our thoughts about these matches where like especially the heel teams, one of the participants is very athletic, like Logan Paul, and one of them is a little old, like John Cena. And so John Cena wanted no part of the actual wrestling in this match.
Right. They protect him.
Right.
That's what it is. They just limit his time and just say, just do the simple moves. Do your moves. The 5-knuckle shuffle, the hit the ropes, stuff like that. Give him a clothesline.
The ones where they always yell, "You can't wrestle."
Right. It's the same move set. They know it, and that's why the fans are like, you could hear them. They were all yelling like, "Yes." So that's why Ron Killings came in and did his stuff.
That was a good moment.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
He was all masked up and stuff like that. That was cool.
And it's just like psycho selfie with the camera. He's like, "Hi, I'm back, it's Ron."
Yeah.
Yep. Hey.
All right. Time.
I still say I don't like it for the long term.
Wait and see. I think they're just going to switch
I don't
it.
like the character change for the long term. I don't.
Right. But how long do you think it really has?
I don't know. The man is in his 50s.
It's
It can't be a huge storyline.
No.
All right. Dilu, you're gonna love this one. Ready?
Go on.
You might be able to think about what song it is already.
Oh, I'm thinking.
Adrenaline in my soul, every fight out of control. Do it all and get them off their feet. And crowd is here, about to blow. Waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, next topic, let's go. Whoa!
I don't know all these songs, but I'm liking this.
Yeah, I'm a nerd.
It's all good.
John, did you know whose theme song that was?
I know the theme song.
Okay. It's Cody Rhodes.
Downstream.
So it was announced that the first weekend of August, that New Jersey will host a 2-night event for the WWE's biggest event outside of WrestleMania in SummerSlam. And while I will actually be in New Jersey that weekend, but for a different reason, this is the first time that the WWE is expanding its Summer Spectacular for more than one night. We've seen growth in viewership for the former wrestling promotion of Mr. McMahon, and it seems the company feels it will continue to grow. So everyone, what do we think of 2 nights of SummerSlam, and will we see other PLEs going 2 nights and or coming to stadiums?
I think SummerSlam and WrestleMania will have 2 nights now.
I mean,
Yeah,
doesn't
I believe
WrestleMania
so.
already have 2 nights?
WrestleMania already has 2 nights.
WrestleMania does, but SummerSlam is the first year. I think it's because
they've always said SummerSlam is like the WrestleMania of the summer, right?
right. It's the second biggest pay-per-view. So they're going to do that, but if they do it for every single one, it's just going to be such fatigue, and it's like, what show do I go to? Do I go to the first one? Do I go to the second one? Do I buy both? Ugh.
And I mean, how do you keep the event? How do you keep the events exciting? And I mean, like, and I say that as someone who typically catches the WrestleMania events,
Right.
and like the main event on Saturday is usually less good than the main event on Sunday. They typically tend to stick the girls on Saturday,
Right, but sometimes they switch it up. They just, I don't know. I don't like SummerSlam having 2 nights. I don't.
Really?
I don't think I do either, honestly.
I don't. You should need 1 pay-per-view for 2 nights. I don't know. It's a lot of wrestling.
I think
Like
I like
4
it.
hours each.
It
More,
is.
actually.
Do you think they have to expand the rosters if they do something like this for all the
if they
pay-per-views?
do that, then yes, they're going to get more people. That's what they do.
They don't need to expand the rosters. No.
Right,
They
but
don't,
how do they?
That's what they're
they
gonna do.
don't even have like a quarter of the roster at a premium live event now. Like you don't need to
More.
expand the roster for 2 nights. For 2 nights.
Yeah, but if you want that shock value for that second night, you grab someone from New Japan or AEW, whatever, in which they
That's
did
cool.
already.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
so
They just have them in NXT.
you build like you have weekly events. You have your SmackDown events and your Raw events. And you have weekly events, and you're building your pay-per-views like you're creating a story.
Right.
And how do you have enough stories to culminate in 2 nights of events? Like I don't understand. And if you
I
do
think
it
it's
twice,
easier than one night. It's easier than one night.
I do
obviously.
too. I do too.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
you could have whatever 5 matches each or whatever they do.
I mean, the
Even
4
like
hour
Money in the-
week.
How many matches are typically in the 4-hour card? Like a lot.
So Money in the Bank was 4
6.
matches, but you got to think
Yeah.
there was two ladder matches in which take half an hour, and then
Oh,
you
no,
have
those take like an hour.
yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. But
Well, 45 minutes to an hour. They're long.
right.
Those
it all
they're lengthy.
depends, whatever they spot, whatever. But I don't know. It's good and bad at the same time. So you're building it, sure, but now every year you have to have 2 nights of SummerSlam, 2 nights of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's just a
And I
lot.
mean,
I don't know.
another thing they do is there are, and maybe because they've made them a lot of them free on Peacock, there are too many pay-per-views. Just too many.
Oh, absolutely. There's one every month.
Yeah,
Maybe
there
2.
is now. Now there's becoming like 2, especially
Right.
with the Saturday Night Main Event coming back now.
Right. And then Saudi
There's-
Mania,
Yeah, yeah.
it's
So then, like, if you're doing so many pay-per-views, and now your main pay-per-views, your WrestleManias and your SummerSlams are 2 nights, how do you keep it interesting? Like, I don't know.
right.
We just talked about it. The main event, the big tag team, and Ron Killing's coming.
Yeah.
It's interesting to talk about, but as far as a story piece, it's
Right.
not even really a blip.
You can't have that shock every single pay-per-view, and that's what they're trying to do. Like
Right.
WrestleMania, there was a shock, and then just Money in the Bank, there was a shock value right there, and then they end the show. It's a lot, but they realize, like, football stadiums now.
Yeah.
That's what they do. It's
They wanna have-
Indy. You're at MetLife for SummerSlam. You're at what was it, Philadelphia, whatever, for the last one.
Yeah.
So I have
It's
another
just-
interesting question. Is WWE too big to fail?
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
100%,
Probably.
100%.
I actually think that they want to have all of their premium live events at stadiums now.
Right, but
They-
how do you
they-
fill that
they
all
did-
the time?
Well, they're pretty close.
Right.
Now they tried to do it for Money in the Bank in, I think it was Toronto a couple years ago,
Yeah,
and they had to change the venue because
Right.
they didn't fill the stadium. But where was Money in the Bank this past weekend?
what was it?
It was
L.A.
at the stadium.
No, it was
Oh,
in.
it was at the Intuit Dome. It was at the
Yeah.
Intuit Dome.
and it didn't look that full. If you're looking at it, they said it was like 17,000. I don't know if they hold there because it's a new stadium or whatever, but
It's a pretty big arena.
it is. But I mean, they said it was like full, but you could watch it. You could see all the empty seats.
But I mean, so they have Royal Rumble at stadium. They're
Yeah, but that could be 2 nights.
SummerSlam. They
Who would want
have
2 nights of Royal Rumble.
So I actually think they might try to do 2 nights of Royal Rumble. And so you have the women's Royal Rumble main event one night and the men's Royal Rumble main event another night.
Right.
I think they're gonna do it? No.
I just think it's fatigue. It's like too much.
It could be.
Too
Well, the
much.
thing is why though I'm not mad at 2 nights of SummerSlam though, is because you already have all these stories going around, and then they
Right.
just die because
Right.
we can't fit them in a
One night.
PLE.
Mhm.
So having 2 nights of a SummerSlam, I think they can continue some of those stories, and I think they can do it. I really do. I'm not mad at 2 nights of SummerSlam. I'm
Right.
not.
But I feel like you're ruining WrestleMania. Because I mean, that was 1 night for the longest years. But now they
Well,
went
maybe
2
they'll make
nights.
it 3
Okay.
nights now.
They might. What the hell with all the money they're making? Good God.
24 hours of WrestleMania. I
Thanks,
don't know.
TKO.
Haven't they done that before?
TKO.
It's just, I don't know.
Sounds like something they would do.
I mean, TKO wants money. Obviously, any business
Yes.
wants money.
Yes.
Wants money. But it's just too much. Am I going to watch it? Sure. But at the same time, it's like, ugh, all right. So Saturday, Sunday, I'm watching WrestleMania. Sometimes I'll watch it Saturday, and then like the Sunday one, I'm just like, I'll wait till Monday.
You know, I never watch the PLEs live anymore. I usually wait
Yeah.
for the replay so I can fast
Majority of
forward.
the time I do, yeah. I just sometimes I'm just like, yeah, I'm going out, whatever, or do something stupid,
I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to watch.
It's so much.
Hey, Mark. Do you know what time it is?
Ooh.
It's the final time
That was fucking epic, man.
That was good. It's like you guys done this before.
The key to the reverb is when to use it.
That was awesome. So, in classic John Last Topic fashion, I feel like this might bum us out a little. As online sports gambling becomes increasingly... Mark wants his show so
It's a
bad.
long
It's a long
that gets a
sound
yeet.
effect. Pete said yeet.
Yeet.
All right. So for real though, as online sports gambling becomes increasingly prevalent, athletes have now noticed more and more anger and hostility from the general population directed at them. With their availability via social media, athletes across sports are receiving death threats, threats on their family, and general nastiness after a bad start or unforeseen game result. With prop bets, parlays, and other more ridiculous ways to gamble, is sports betting getting out of hand? Also, does gamification of sports gambling allow people to separate the stars from their humanity?
Why do you ask questions you already know the answer to, John?
It's a
I'm a
tough
lawyer.
situation. It's a
Is
tough
sports gambling
situation,
getting out
like,
of question? Absolutely.
Of course it is. But money.
Money, money, money.
Yeah, money
Money.
drives the world, unfortunately.
And what sucks is for like the
Oh, it's
college
always
students
been.
where, you know,
Yes.
they're just
college
trying to
students.
play and just they're getting death threats. Like that's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
That part's really bad.
Professionals can handle it a little bit different because they're like, I don't give a shit. You know, like who cares? But
Sure.
like for a college kid who is a sophomore, you know,
That
20 years old, like it's tough.
that's very tough because like, how do you just tell people like you can't just ban
You can't
betting on
respond.
college sports?
Right.
It's not that easy. Like it's always going to happen. But right,
Right.
those I would say they're all still kids, right? Pretty much at that
Uh-huh.
point. Like,
Yep.
yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. Like, that's a lot for those kids to handle.
Yep. That's a big burden.
It is.
Fourth and long. It's like 10 or down 7.
Yeah,
He throws an incompletion or interception, and then the kid has to hold that with him and just be like, "Wow, I'm gonna catch crap."
yeah. And I mean, even though you may have aspirations for a professional career, like you're not a full professional yet at that point. Like you're still just doing this for the love of the game, and to have that kind of
Right.
pressure on you
mean,
from the
they're-
outside, that's rough.
I mean, they're also getting a little money. Some of them. But,
Well,
you know.
I mean, yeah, and some are getting a lot.
Right.
But
Right.
I'd
Well,
say
we've
for
also
the
seen
average,
this. So we've also seen this at like golf tournaments when people are shouting in someone's backswing so they can fuck up a drive and whatnot.
Yeah, that's messed up.
This also happened very recently with Gabby Thomas getting heckled by a fan,
Mhm.
and she ultimately lost. But he said this fan has since been banned from all track and field events. And but he's saying that his actions, him heckling Gabby Thomas, influenced the outcome to win a parlay bet.
That's terrible.
Well, I mean, I think the non-definitive nature of parlay bet results, like, I mean, and we've talked about this a lot. Like, it's just very easy to influence a lot of money, really. You know,
DraftKings makes so much money off of all of us who play it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
and I mean, how easy is it for a prolific shooter to make one less 3 than they're meant to? Because you can just fucking count.
We saw it too. Like what the I forget his name now. And we mentioned it on the show. That Toronto Raptors player that he was supposed
Mark,
to.
he
play
got
a certain
something in
number
his
of
eye.
minutes. Yeah, sure he did.
yeah. How dare you?
money.
How dare you?
Money.
Yeah, he got all that money that he won in his eye.
Right.
Yes. $150. That's just a tough situation.
It
Tough
feels like
for
it's the
kids.
beginning of the end. Isn't this how like Rome fell down?
I think there's a
The
lot of
Roman
other things
Empire.
going on in the world right now, or in
Right.
this country that's parallel to Rome falling. But but you know what? Why not throw this on there too?
Yep.
So, and let's just go with stats. They have now interviewed people. Apparently, 78% of people say that legalized sports betting has affected fan treatment. Major MLB players, so Lance McCullers, Liam Hendricks, have revealed that their families have been getting death threats. there are just tons of these examples of people not treating athletes like people, right?
Right.
Yeah,
They're human
Because-
beings. I mean,
Mhm.
people mess up all the time, like, oh my God, he didn't get a hit. Oh, okay. Next game, he'll hit a home run and another hit and a triple. It's
Yeah.
tough. It's a weird situation because I see as a fan, like, you're like, oh, that's my money. But at the same time, as a professional, he's just trying to play the game.
So there are
Yeah,
also
and
multiple
people forget
examples. Got Pete?
I was going to say that, and to that, like, people forget there's a lot of randomness in this because all these people are at such a high level that, like, the aspect of chance, and isn't that the whole point of gambling? You kind of lose yourself. Like,
You're rolling the ball.
the gamblers have so much ego that they expect to win something, and obviously, if they lose, it's not their fault. It's the players not doing
So
their part.
what's also
which
going
is
on
like,
now,
dude, it's fucking chance.
and the accessibility of professional athletes, I guess. There have been multiple reports of professional athletes getting Venmo requests from gamblers, and the Venmo they're literally Venmoing them, and they're like, "Hey, listen, you owe me this money, or I'm gonna kill your daughter."
Oh my god.
Ugh. Yeah, that's tough.
People are
We track
great.
that stuff, like, is that
That's-
'cause
I mean-
those should be like harassment crimes, man.
That's what's
I mean,
good
it
about
100%
social
is.
media.
By the way, also 100% trackable, and I'm sure they're getting tracked.
100% trackable. Exactly. That's
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
just.
But that's the thing is about social media, like, so your fans want to, follow you or Twitter like you, whatever. And so they're like, they're probably watching the game, they get pissed off, then they direct message them. Not like they read it. They have like a team of people who, composes the messages and stuff. But like, could you imagine reading a message like, hey, I'm gonna kidnap your daughter because you didn't get a double or a triple? That's terrible.
What the
Fucking terrifying, because
Oh
the
my
thing is,
God.
too, there are enough crazies when you're a public figure that shit will happen.
Absolutely.
Because nowadays you could just go to Google and type in their address and I'm sure it'll pop up.
Fun fact, I went to that spring training game, and I didn't kidnap anyone. But
Not yet anyway, Saracona.
someone in
What a
Tampa,
great segue.
Yeah.
someone in Tampa was like, "Hey, have you been to Derek Jeter's house yet?" I'm like, "Derek Jeter's house? How would I find Derek Jeter's? How would I find Derek Jeter's house?" They're like, "Yeah, just look it up." I just looked up Derek Jeter's house, and I just drove out. Like, "Oh, look, there's Derek Jeter's house." I mean, I didn't get close because you can't get
You
close.
say hi to Hannah for me?
Hell yeah.
Oh boy.
No, that was before they were married. That was when he was dating
Which
the
one?
actress.
Which one?
Dating that beautiful actress / model.
Which
You know-
one?
you know the
Mariah
one.
Carey,
know the one.
Mia Kerr. Come on, please tell me.
I will find it out. I will consult the research department.
Ah, nice.
Dilo,
They'd
have
be
I
next
ever
to this
told you?
game.
Ever told you that I have a stretch goal
Oh,
of?
It was Minka, by
kickball
the way.
Oh,
Give it what?
I've
It was
had
Minka.
this
It was
stretch-
Minka Kelly.
Oh,
I've
so
had this-
hot. Anyway,
I've had the stretch goal of getting kickball on DraftKings.
I would love it.
I want to start seeing that. I think I want people to start betting on our kickball games.
Oh god.
What would you bet on? What would be your what would be the parlay
Yeah,
bets
what are
on
the
Mark
kind of
Pesci?
bets for that?
Well,
Dilo makes an error.
Flyouts. So many
Yeah, you can do-
flyouts.
It will
You can
happen.
do run scored. You know,
Okay. Wow. The over and under?
you can over under. There'd be a money line too. Like I'm pretty sure. So we lost 3-2 against Faku on Wednesday. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure the spread was larger than 1.
Oh yeah. Fuck, who's a juggerhouse? We lost to hold my bunt 2-1.
What about pop fly drops? That could be a good prop bet.
Yeah,
They're harder to, sometimes they're harder to catch than you
there
think.
was you always have them you have them innings where you have a couple errors and
Yeah.
it's just like, oh
They just keep piling
The
up.
few times I played
Yep.
kickball as relief on my wife's team a long time ago.
what was the name? What was the team name?
Oh, I don't remember. Steph would know. I forget. But
I bet
no,
it was great.
I remember I was like first play that I stepped in there to fill in for somebody, and I get a pop fly right at me. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
just thinking to myself, like, don't drop this.
Yep.
Like,
That's the
you're never gonna
problem,
hear the
is
end
it-
of it. Yep.
Right. The problem is you look at it and you're like, all right, I don't want to mess this up. And then it just
Yeah,
hits
it was
your chest.
way
bounces.
up in the air,
You're like,
right? So you
"Oh."
had all this time to think about it. I'm like, okay,
Yep.
all right, but I got it. It was like, okay,
Sometimes
we're
the
good.
liners-
We're good.
Right. Sometimes the liners that are lined right at you, you're fine. But if you have too
All
much
right.
time to think, it's just like,
That's what, yeah.
Dilo, I finally found out the reason why my Worcester team is called Outer Milan. So
Oh,
I
okay.
guess now most of the team is played soccer back in the day, and there's a championship team called Inter Milan.
Right.
So on a play on words, they wanted to be Outer Milan, and they just moved that over to kickball.
All right.
I remember the first year when they
We're at
played.
time, but we're going to talk about some kickball team names according to ChatGPT. My favorites on this list, the Ball Busters.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
Kicking Back, and I think my favorite overall, Pitch Please.
Yep. What about
Pitch, please.
Balls Deep? Balls Deep.
Balls Deep. Nice.
There was a team Balls Deep.
Yeah.
Damn.
Gold Diggers. Nice.
Okay.
My favorite was Ball and Oats. I'm gonna not
Ball and Oats.
That was good. That was good.
Kicks and Giggles.
Yep.
I like that.
What about a little Down to First?
Ooh.
might be a real name. DTF ain't nothing to fuck with. So that has been our topics. We will be back next week with our friend Will Smart.
Great
In the meantime,
end.
You can catch up on our old episodes on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/@iftheseBallsPod. And don't forget to subscribe to us by tickling that little bell.
Tickle.
We would like to thank our guests for joining us this week. Thank you, D-Lou.
Thanks.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
guys for having me. Thank you guys.
You can also
for
follow or
listening.
like us on our socials at IfTheseBallsPod on X, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, and Blue Sky. Our website is www.iftheseballscoultalkpod.com. This is Mark Pesci, and for my partner John Companion
Yeet.
and producer Pete Steffen, that's what we feel they would say. These balls can talk.
Yeet.
Yeet, 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 yeet.
If these balls could eat.
I think I'm at like 18 now. Hold on. I got to get this in before the show ends. Okay.